years.
Yeah.
So I'm not finna be sitting here throwing stones trying to pick out what somebody else done, Joe. I'm telling you, if you knew my resume, you probably wouldn't like me. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, now if you know me as this type of nigga that, man, Joe, I'm just trying to get back to my people. The first I was taken from them.
Hey, bro.
You see what I'm saying? It's like,
hey,
no,
man,
go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
That's like Bro Sanchez is, man, like he one of the few bro that's on YouTube where they can reach them people that you talking about, bro. They can understand and wake them up, bro.
Yeah. And that, man, why you think I'm on here? Why you think I jumped on this panel, bro? Like, hey, like, you know, I be fucking with Secret Energy, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, don't get it wrong. I'm a free nigga, Joe. Like, I'm just a real nigga. I'm from the hood, so I do what I want to do where I want to do it. Like, I just have to vibe with the reality because I'm inside of the reality and I come from the hood. When I heard this nigga start, you know, just sitting there talking, I like it. And I'm gonna say this: do I agree with everything the brother say? No. But do I like the nigga's delivery? Fucking right. Is it good enough for me to bring his ass to the hood? Fucking right. It's good enough. Because see, we'll hash out the rest of that shit later. You see what I'm saying? That's what they say, man. Look, as I grow, so should you two grow. Each one teach one. And that's the reason I came into the situation like, man, look, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Because whether you know it or not, Joe, that's where everything is at. That's where everybody that really needs us is at, bro. Everybody, like even this whole channel right here, right now. You see what I'm saying? Like, you just don't understand. I can flood this joint through the hood. I just started doing this shit. Like, literally, just started doing it, bro. Just took the liberty. Like, you know what, bro? I've been studying this shit so many years now. Fuck it. I done went deeper than I know. I done went deeper into this shit than I hear a lot of people saying on YouTube anyway. So I'm like, well, fuck it. Let me try to help my people out with this shit. And then I bumped into Bro Sanchez. I just bumped into him a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. So you see what I'm saying? It just lets you know, though, bro, that there's a real disconnect going on, but we still caught up inside of the illusion because when I say that, what happens when we get so caught up inside of playing roles and acting out personalities that we become emotionally torn based upon a conversation or the content inside of it? That's a role, G. That's a characteristic. You got to come back up out of that, man.
Yeah.
You fucking yourself up and you fucking up the content right now. Yo, you see what I'm saying?
No. Hey, we talk. Hey, brothers, can we please? Hey, brothers, can we talk one at a time? Brothers.
Yeah, we can hear you, brother. Go ahead. We can hear you. Talk to him.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know what happened either, man, but we're going to just keep on moving.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I don't know, bro. Was I bogus? Was I saying something bogus or something? Is that what it was?
Oh, no, I don't think you was. I'm feeling what you're saying. I thought the brother that was Corey was trying to get in. He couldn't really get in. I don't know if because he kept saying brothers. I'm like, damn, what we can hear you. What's good, you know?
Yeah, I thought he was trying to tell me I was cussing, bro, and I don't know. Hey, I don't know. Go ahead, though, bro. Let him get in.
Okay, yeah, you can get in, Corey. Go ahead. Oh, I think he having audio issues.
Right there, man. I'm just trying to, I was saying, like, we don't need to talk.
Hey, your joint is all messed up right now, Corey. That's what I thought. He having audio issues, man. Sorry about that. When he popped back on, it should sound better. He gonna probably, do his thing. Yeah, if you want to drop your emails out there, drop your emails. Any questions, come on up and ask them. I don't really want to be trying to look back and forth from the chat, but I will. But yeah, we was talking about the ether and a bunch of more stuff. But we naming this one we got the ether in the title. But you can open up. We could talk about anything, man. We could talk. You know what I'm saying? It's still open.
All right, hey, can I throw this out there real quick for you, then, bro? Since you brought that out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I heard you talking about the electric universe and all of that, right? So and I was really digging that because, just me digging into this, man, and I've been studying across something now. I come across something that show what is a cross right now. A cross is actually an unfolded cube, right? Like if you take a cube right now, you unfold it, and that's what it is, right? And I got it all rolled up because I was actually just going to put this content together. Like, man, the cross is an unfolded cube with the faces of which are seen in the 6 squares of our symbol, right? So I got pictures of it. I know you can't see it, but I know you can pull up pictures of it to see how you would unfold a box and make it into a regular cross. So the whole Jesus on the cross story, when it comes out to it, because I'm showing people actually how Jesus is Saturn, man. It's the black sun. And what they're talking about is a cube. That time, literally, we exist inside of a cube. So when you start seeing the popes and all this shit wearing that cube on the top of their head, they're telling you to think outside of the box, think outside of the cube, because inside of the cube is where what? The physical manifestation of thought, what man, that's where they're teaching us to exist inside of that box, right? Sensory modalities, all your pain and pleasure sensors. You see what I mean? So I just came across this information like, damn, bro, it just made a whole lot of sense when I heard what you were saying. Then I'm sitting there putting this together with the cosmic cube. You see what I'm saying? Because I even got a quote, bro, from the Pope, like where it's a real life quote where the Pope says something about it. I'm just trying to pull it up for you real fast, bro, if you got time for it. But he say, the heavenly church already have the cube within their heart. The cube is the sign of membership, and it cannot be gainsaid. You either have the cube or you do not. It is the mark of the Godhead. Jesus has shown me the cube in the heart. It lights up. It is a crystal. It is a perfect cube. But when I go further into it, right, it's a verse up in the Bible that says something about, well, you know, even Paul in the Bible, he says something about the Christ, right? The breadth, the depth, and the length or whatever of the, you know, like the love of Christ. But in all actuality, what I found out, bro, was they were talking about still in that same content was a cube. And I don't know, I'm just trying to see too. Because see, here go the deal. It's a whole lot, and I don't want to throw it all out there for you, bro, because I don't want to go, you know, like get off on your show. But what do you know about it though? Yeah, because what he say, hey, I already got a slide, bro, that I was already, you know, like doing my thing on though, bro. But and it just say the cube was Saturn's figure, as Kepler showed in his Mysterium Cosmographicum. This is the reason for the insistence on cubic stones and cubic arcs. You see what I mean? So it's just really just going real far. Say the cross represents the net of the cube. For example, the cube on the plane. God is everywhere, present, all at once, all the time. God is not a person. God is the absolute of absolutes. God is a cube. And it goes back into showing like everybody that you mentioned, like Sheol, Saturn, Moses, Israel. And I can show you how each one of them inside of those ancient languages connected back to, like, especially with the Phoenician language, like they all just connect back to Saturn. All of the gods, all of the sun gods.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Click on my avatar and keep building, because this will help you out. You becoming enlightened to the secrets of Saturn, and I'm loving to hear it from your perspective. I taught about this. I call it the ripple effect. Saturn is actually the ripple effect. But keep on, brother, because we're going to go into a lot of deep stuff together. Me, you, and any other brothers that want to input on it, and we're going to give the people today a lot of enlightenment. Go ahead, my brother.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, bro. I do appreciate it, because I see you got a whole lot of content probably already around the situation then. And like I had just did something the other day, man, and put it up there showing people that, you know, the connection between Jesus and Saturn, the black sun. Because listen to this, I got some papers that showing even scriptures and shit from the Bible, verses from like that some of the ancient indigenous people was writing, some of the natives, bro, that there was a time that the moon wasn't here. There was no moon here. And inside of this plane, we understand we live in a binary star system, right? That means two suns. I even got proof, and you know, I got this right here, some scientific study that they was doing over here at Thunderbolt, showing how there is an electrical cable that reaches our sun, and it literally connects to Saturn. But I want to say this, that they said,
well, listen. I want to hear more of what you're saying, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's a lot of holes in what you're saying. I'm going to deal with them, but it's expected, because the sources are from the powers that be. The stuff you saying come from them, but see, it gotta
not all of it, bro. Not all of it. Listen, all of the information I just gave you wasn't from there. It's just as a collective. I've been studying this shit 3 years. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
I got this.
Yeah, the thing about
I got that one article from Thunder. I was reading a video, watching a video, and got that one article, bro, out of Thunderbolts, where it's showing that, but they, even the one that wrote the article, they were showing somebody else whose article that shows that, you see what I'm saying, that stars, you know, how the cord or whatever connects to Saturn. But I'm saying as far as these Bible scriptures, the verses, and these other articles I got that's written by like some of the ancient native tribes and stuff like that. Like I didn't get that from them. You see what I'm saying? Just showing that it was a time when the moon wasn't even here.
Well, look, let me tell you something. I don't agree with it was a time that the moon wasn't here. I'm going to tell you some real shit. I'm going to stop screen sharing in a minute. I believe everything we see that's here now always was and always is. Meaning that if the moon go out of existence right now, all of creation will go out of existence. Can you drive your car without the transmission? See, when you understand how the ancestors looked at creation, one part of it can't exist without the next. So like you take away the moon and the sun loses its polarity. Now the people that created the two sun concept were homosexuals, brother. And this was scientific programming in the subconscious to give you two phalluses. I'm just keeping it real with you. The son with the son and the father without the mother, which is the moon, is blasphemy. They want to take the mother off. So whenever I hear the two sun theory, I know exactly what I'm dealing with. And there's many forms of that where they trying to get rid of the ether. But see, because the moon phases show you how the ether splits reality, how the moon go through them different phases. That is an electromagnetic energy field, the moon. And I could start pulling up more slides now where we can go into that. When you understand, see, what you saying is deep though.
Because I got a lot of information to just say that, listen, there was a time that the moon was not here. And Saturn, listen, China finna show you, when they release this moon into the sky, right now, they're finna show you that, yes, it's just that easy for them to release a satellite that looked a moon into their sky or into the Earth's orbit. Like they already got the satellite moon, their fake moon, and already ready to just launch that sucker. They telling everybody it's just gonna provide light to one of their cities. But I mean, you know, we understand what it's actually going to do. But all I'm saying is I do get what you're saying, bro. But all I'm saying is, like, it's not just like, it's not about just the two sun game, though. I mean, I got other, like, you know, like inside of like books and shit that was wrote where the natives are speaking about a time before the moon existed. You see what I'm saying? Like just inside of their, you know, like their speak, like, you know, how you,
well,
like,
let me explain something to you. Hold on. Let me just share something with you. When you say you got books that the natives said that, yeah, if I got books where my grandma said that Jesus blessed her with certain things. So in my point of telling you that, the books where the natives saying that, you just going back to a time where they still was corrupted. See, even the natives on this land was programmed with phallus worship. They worship Narmer in the form of Kokopelli. Have you ever heard of Kokopelli?
No.
That was the pope that they made the Indians, the natives on this land worship. They've been worshiping them for thousands of years. So if your book ain't going back prior to 7,000 years ago, if you talking to natives on this land, chances are they're going to be Christians, or either they're going to worship Kokopelli, and they still got the solar system.
I'm out here in Arizona, man. I'm fucking with these Hopi Indians, man. Well,
look, guess what? Them are 9 times out of 10 imposters, and I'm going to tell you why. Tell me, hold on. Okay, hold on a second, man. Hold on. Go ahead and Bill. Go talk for a minute. Let me do something.
Hey, listen, I get what you're saying, Joe. I'm just saying that it don't mean that the actual moon, just because we heard or we got the name the moon and we take the title the moon and put it to this little bitty orb in the sky and we point to that and say that's the moon. Hell, I even see videos where people showing that, man, it's a possibility that moon ain't even real. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when we go into the moon concept, we got to understand what is the actual moon.
Here's what you got to understand about it. About the mystery of nature. Anything you question and you deny its existence while question it will lead you in a circle of eternal foolishness. Now let me break some down to you. The moon is real. Ever since I was born onto the earth, it was real. It lit up the night sky. And anytime someone tell me to question it from a perspective that it wasn't there, or there's a possibility that it may not really be there, and you just looking at it, it's to make you start off on a false damn search that's gonna lead you to nowhere. You wanna learn the truth about the moon, first you need to come down to earth, realize it is real, it has a function what nature created it for, and then start asking yourself, what's that function? And then looking at it like that. But when we start
the moon kills everything, brother.
See, here's the thing right here where I say this is the pseudoscience I'm talking about. Now check this out,
brother. See, oh my God.
Now hold on.
Hey, I ain't finna do that with you though.
But hold up, brother.
Nah.
Hold on a second.
Listen,
this is a good deal.
Word, bro. Listen, all that pseudoscience shit, bro. You can say that shit with me, because I'm not finna do none of that with you on your channel, not with no nigga, period. It's an open conversation, G. If you gonna keep it open, nigga, then just keep it right there. But don't get into all that crazy shit, because I can do that with you too.
I want you to listen. Hold on,
the moon makes, no, just because you said it's common sense don't mean that, bro. So, and just because we on your channel don't mean I'm gonna let what you say make sense.
You don't have to, brother. No, listen, you don't have to
I don't even gotta sit on your channel, my nigga. Because you're going into another lane now. No, I'm saying you talking pseudo, nigga. What the fuck?
Cool, that's fine. I ain't gonna take offense to it, because pseudoscience ain't a bad word. It's a real word. I talk pseudoscience a lot of times, but when I'm not,
listen, because you ain't want to tell, look, bro, where you get your information like I do, nigga.
Hold on, yo, this the same dude from the last stream, yo. Are you the same dude from the last stream?
Bro, you tripping, bro. Hey, listen, bro. You tripping, bro. Sanchez, listen to me. You tripping, bro. Cut that shit out, bro. I ain't tripping, and I ain't no same nigga from nothing, bro.
Well, then listen to me for a minute.
You can't be sitting here trying to shoot me because I'm on your show, and then sit there and call me pseudo. I'm saying you pseudo then, nigga.
Brother, listen what I'm telling you. I say that all the time to Huey, to everybody. It's a real word. Pseudoscience is what we say to say that what you're saying isn't based upon observable senses. Now, hear me out. I say I got pseudoscientific beliefs too. God damn, brother. Can I just come on, man? Come on, bro. Calm down, man. We was doing good. You took offense to pseudoscience, so let me clarify that up so you don't get me wrong. I'm not sending a shot at you. I think we having a good ass bill. That's why I told you I'm about to pull up the slides. We about to enlighten the people together. When I say something is pseudoscience, it means we're steering away from what we can prove with observable senses. So I can't prove that the moon is killing motherfuckers. So when I hear that, I'm gonna clarify to the people, okay, at this time we're going into more of speculation, belief, or pseudoscience, metaphysical talk, which is interesting, which is fun, ain't nothing wrong with that. And it's good to clarify to the people, brother, that I'm not factual, that I know 100% the moon is killing people. This is my belief. So if you don't make the clarification, since I'm running the show, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna say, okay, guys, here's where we're going into the pseudoscience now, because I'm finna say some things pseudoscientific too, because I don't know about the moon. You can't prove the shit that Brother Sanchez about to say with your observable senses, because I never touched the moon. I'm just letting them know, here's the point where we get into the pseudoscientific part of it. Because now I'm finna entertain a conversation with this brother, which is an interesting one. What is the moon's purpose when it comes to reincarnation? I like to talk about that kind of shit. And I share a lot of beliefs with the moon matrix shit. So I'm ready to go into that with you. But don't take offense to pseudoscience. Maybe I ought to find another word, because they fucked that word up today to the point where anytime you hear that, you know,
hey, no, bro, listen, it was about the whole, how you try to question my intelligence and everything. Talk to me like a man, G. Like I'm
what did I do wrong so I can correct
it, bro? No, when you get to talking about some, like, you know, common sense, like using your common, like you went a little far with it. I ain't getting emotional on you. What I'm saying is, you don't want me to do it, G, so don't do it to me. That's all. It's your show. I respect that, bro.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I honor that shit.
That's a fact right there. That everything you just said is a fact. Now that right there was one of them things that us nerds do. That's some sophisticated, sarcastic, nerdy shit, bougie shit. You right. I ain't gonna lie. And you called it out when I be like, let's use common sense and shit like that. Yeah. And I do that shit not even thinking about it. But if you point that out and you right about that, you had every right to be offended for that. But yeah, we can move on and get into the deep bill though. But I'm glad that you pointed it out, because I'm real enough to say to you, brother, yeah, I was wrong about that. You're right about that when you're real about it, man. So yeah, if you took offense to that, my bad. You're right. You are using your common sense. So if you think that I was referring to you, which you should have because you was talking, then yeah. So, but let's just to get back on subject, because as men, we gonna do that. Still sharp and still, we gonna bump heads, we gonna do that. But I'm glad but I'm glad that you real enough to voice that with me and not be like the other dude, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that you still, like right now, you letting me talk, you ain't cut me off, that's what's up. We can clarify, reach an understanding, and that's what it's about. And I apologize, you was right, brother. You know, I can have a tendency to do that.
Hey, no, it's all honor, bro. Hey, listen, that's what I'm here to do, to actually do anyway. To learn what, you know, what you're doing right now, bro. I ain't fucked up by it. Throw that information out there.
Yeah, the thing that I was saying about the whole thing where you said the moon is killing people, it kind of hit me a certain way, because the moon.
Okay, hey, I apologize. Yeah, I might have went a little too. It was too spot on.
Yeah, because, you know, I kind of opposed that moon matrix theory. Like a lot of folks said, the moon is evil, the moon was made by man. And they say that when you die, it's made for them to recycle your soul, when that ain't true. That story right there that they talking about, they call it the Pac-Man Saturn moon matrix. You ever heard that?
No, go ahead though, because I'm all with you, bro.
A dude named Quasi-Luminous made it popular. If anybody on the panel ever heard of the Pac-Man Saturn moon matrix? Come on, panelists.
Yeah. My bad.
Hey, I heard of the Pac-Man, but I didn't delve like hella deep into it.
Yeah, how the sun and like think he exiting, but he coming back on the other side or something like that.
Yeah, they says they call it because the moon gobble you up. They said, you just look up this dude named Quasi-Luminous. Now he's pseudo-scientific all day, and I don't care if he take offense to it, because shit, ain't no other word I know how to use for him. The shit he's saying is like, yo, real talk. So, but check it out, and you'll see how they corrupting ancient science to induce fear. What the Illuminati is doing is they want to make you scatter the moon and only embracing the sun. Why? Because the moon holds the secrets to you. If you can't go in the dark and not be afraid, you gonna be fucked up upon death. See, they don't want us to embrace the serpents, the darkness, the Satan symbols. All that shit is what you need to embrace before you get up out of this motherfucker, so you can fear no evil when you walk through the valley.
Real talk.
See, they got all them symbols cursed today, telling you to be afraid of the serpent, the snake, the moon, and all that, and Saturn. But let me show y'all something real quick, because the brother brought up Dynamo is building, and he got hella knowledge. That's why he got me opening up the slides. I don't want to mess up the relationship with the brother. He's a bright-minded brother. You know, we can use him over here. So, and Underdog, and you probably saw this before what I'm about to show, but what I'm about to show is the truth about the Saturn moon matrix theory, and I'm gonna give you the real symbolism on. First of all, Saturn is this. Let me pull this up. Earth is Saturn. Y'all can see this?
Yeah, we can see it. I can.
This is why a lot of people say Saturn used to be the sun. Who ever heard that before? They said Saturn used to be our sun.
Yeah, about 15,000 years ago.
And the reason they saying that is because the sun is what the Greeks worship. And the sun is basically the sand, the center of their universe. It was a god. Then they turned it into a yellow ball so they can trick the world into space programming. But at the center of our universe is the North Pole, y'all. The North Pole is the center of the universe, where all compass is pointing. Not the sun in the sky, not the moon, not none of them stars. The North Pole, y'all, is the center of the universe. So check this out. When they say that Saturn used to be our sun, they saying that Saturn used to be our conception for the center of the universe. And now you can see how that makes sense, because if you look at the modern day picture of Saturn they give you, you see that it's got an opening that they always show you, and that's the fucking mountain, Mount Meru. This pyramid right here, this is the mountain that beaming out this light where we enter and exit at. So this, the center of the universe, is an umbilical cord that connects us to the mother. This is a,
Yep.
you see,
Your chat saying they can't see it. They want to see it.
my bad, y'all. Here we go. Saturn is the ancient conception of Earth. Today they telling people that Saturn used to be the sun. No, Saturn used to be the sun, the center, the center. The sun represents the center. That's why in today's cosmology, the sun is at the center. S-U-N is S-E-N or C-E-N, center. So when they say Saturn used to be the sun, they just showing you right here. If you look at what they give you, look at the top, you see this circle, they call it the North Pole hexagram. It's a little pink little circle up there. That's the same beam you see on the left coming up out of the ancient model. They are just plagiarizing this shit, calling it Saturn. Don't you know the word Saturn is the word Saturn, and the word Saturn is the word shatter, and the word shatter is there because the universe is shattered up into different worlds like you see on the left? Shatter is Saturn. It became Saturn with a bunch of rings, but it's a bunch of worlds, y'all. We live in one of them.
See, I got it a little different, bro. I got it that Saturn was just a name of the sun, and that what they started to do was all of the different names of like what they call in the different planets and stuff, Pluto and all of that shit. Mm-hmm. They just started to actually call those different names, and they named them, you know what I'm saying, after what they call, you know, now today as like the Teutonic gods, but that they was all different names that actually still represented our sun. But at the time it was called Saturn because Saturn came from Satur, which means to sow, or he was known as the king of harvest. And that's who like the ancient Phoenicians and the Chaldeans and shit was worshiping, was actually Saturn because of the crops and shit.
Well, I'm gonna show you before they was worshiping Saturn. See, the symbols don't lie. You can go into the different cultures, how they interpreted the symbols, just like the cross is still here today. People say that means Jesus, but that ain't what it mean. The Christians...
No, Saturn, the cross come from Saturn.
I know it, you're right, but that's what I'm saying. Jesus is a form of Saturn. You're right, with the halo around his head for the rings. You're right about that.
Yeah, I think they say he the pagan aspect of it. Like all of the different, like Buddha, Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, all of them are literally just different aspects or interpretations, or like we would say the characteristics of Saturn. But it's just being told inside of a different culture. It's like behind the scenes, esoterically, it was all, you know, Saturn worship, but exoterically, they had, you know, created these little fascinating ass shows called, you know, Christianity, Islam, and all of that stuff.
Can you see the screen that I'm sharing real quick?
Yeah.
If you look in the bottom right corner, you know what that is? This little drawing right here.
Yeah, I see it, bro. I see what you are showing me.
You know what
that is? I don't know what it is, though. I see what. No, I don't know what it is. I see it, though.
That's an electromagnetic energy field. This right here was
okay, yeah.
Yeah, this symbol here, right here. This became Nut and Geb to the Egyptians. It's Nut bent over Geb. But what I'm showing you is that it's a electromagnetic energy field cut open, so we can see it from an inside view, like we cutting open a donut. And I can show you another one here. I'm gonna just show you one more. Here it is here. Same thing. This was a god. Let me show you something real quick. What I'm giving you is science with the electromagnetism, but what I'm about to show you now, they giving you some pseudoscience, some religion. Now this is Saturn. This is the god Saturn, or El. They call him El. This is him in his original depiction with his wheel around him. But if you look on his wheel, look at it. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see this? What I'm pointing at?
Yeah.
On his wheel is the zodiac. So what that tell you is that he can't be representing the planet Saturn, because ain't no way that the planet Saturn got the zodiac in it. Think about what I'm saying, right? All the ancients said when they looked up at the sky, they can see the zodiac circling above their head. So why would they paint the zodiac on one of the planets that's part of the zodiac? Why would Saturn have the zodiac on it? See, this god Saturn represented the North Pole, not the planet Saturn, but the North Pole. That's why Saturn is Santa Claus. And I'm showing you that right now on the screen. So the North...
Hey, no, I got that part. He represented the North, but the death of Christ represented him leaving from the North, taking that 6-month journey to the Southern Hemisphere, what they call the crux, where it stays for 3 days. After that 3 days, the sun actually awakens and moves 1 degree. So like, yeah, I got that part, bro. But I was just showing you that, hey, look, what they were showing is like that they called Saturn, or the sun Saturn, but they show how the sun moved through the constellations. You see what I'm saying? Now, I get everything you saying. It's just, I'm just saying that most of it still is like the same. It's just showing that shit, all of the names that we using, they called, it was really a name for Saturn.
But see, the deep thing about it, why they made the confusion is for this. Here's what it originally meant before the word Saturn. It meant shatter. See, when you talk about shatter, the root word of it is shat. And the word shat is the word shed. Each shattering is a shed. That's why they had 7 heavens. That's why let me pull this image up one more time real quick. Hold up a second. It's like an onion. It's layered or shattered. But the root word of shatter, like I said, shat or shed or shedded, shredded. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I'm just showing you, before it came, all of that crazy stuff with different gods and Santa Claus and Saturn and the ring planet. This what it originally meant to our ancestors. It was the entire earth was Saturn, or saturated. When you learn what saturation is, it's beyond drenching something. It's enveloping something. And when you envelop something, that's what Saturn represent. That's why I kept pulling up the picture of the envelope. Check it out. This is Saturn, the Great Seal. And where we lick it at is the North Pole, the DNA, the tree of life. So when you talk about Saturn, I'm gonna show you why we say it's the cube as well. You know, it's because of this. The planet Saturn, the dot and the rings is the pyramid or the cube. It's all the same mathematics and geometry. That's why I made this collage, so it'll be easy for your mind to just see how all of this shit is Saturn. But if you look at this collage right here, next to the dice is a picture of the Earth from a top view, the North Pole with 4 continents around it, and we're not able to travel there today. See, the thing is this right here, when you see them 4 pyramids on the back of an envelope with the tipping point where it seals it at where you lick it, that's what the Earth is. If you look at the right there are 4 continents around the North Pole, the 4 sides around the point of a pyramid. Even in the Mayan calendar, they got the 4 corners with the Great Mother as that 5th point where you lick it at. See, she got her tongue out. And you see that the 5 dice is associated with Saturn because of its sacred geometry. The number for Saturn is 5. That's the number associated with Saturn in numerology. So this collage will show you that is really some science behind this. The fact that Saturn is really how to saturate or generate energy. Here it is right here. So what I'm saying is both of us right. But this became a bunch of different gods today to hide the truth about how we can make energy. See, learning about
Yeah,
Jesus.
because they say the original name for it was just OG.
Oh, see, I ain't
Yeah,
know that.
and that's where you get on. But they say that it came about like these interpretations, like, it wasn't no N, or you see what I mean? It wasn't no M's. You see what I'm saying? Like when they say Adam, it was like the N, so they pronounce it Adam. But it's just saying that when we was trying to pronounce it throughout the transliterations of cultures, people started to actually use their nasal to interpret versus their throat or their shock, like their lower throat or the back of their lower throat or something like that to pronounce it. So it started putting different accents and different twists and spins on the words that once it go into another culture, like, you would have on comes into you see what I'm saying? And goes into om, like, you see, like in German, you got mom, it's M-U-M. But in English, you got mom, it's M-O-M. You see what I mean? I get what you're saying, Supreme. I'm just saying that we're gonna have to build on this a little stronger. Probably just me and you.
No doubt, man. We can do how.
Because I don't want to hold nobody.
Oh no, man. Hey, this is great right here for the people. They sucking up all this knowledge, man. They can't get it nowhere else. So when we do it, I allow all the time for it, and anybody else on the panel want to chime in, they can do that too. And yeah, man, because they
say that's where they get the word soul nigger from, bro. Like soul nigger came from Saturn. You see the black sun. Like, it's just, hey, look, it's just real deep, bro, for me, because like I said, I done been dead, I done been alive. I mean, I done been throughout the, the transitions and the phases. So all of this information just got real exciting to me. Like, how do I explain my experience without seeming like what you call, like what you said, pseudo? Because literally, everybody got this I saw Jesus story. So if you ain't got no I saw Jesus story, it's like you might as well keep it to yourself.
Yeah. Hey, but listen, I'm going to tell you, everything I just said about pseudoscience is literally a fact that they fucked the word up for it today. Pseudoscience is a genre of science. I don't know if people know that. You got motherfuckers that's getting paid a lot of money to be pseudoscientists. And then when I be like, well, this is pseudoscience, folks take offense to it like that's a real motherfucking study. Like, pseudoscience is real. And I got some pseudoscience videos and I got some science videos. I do it all, you know what I'm saying? But
look, now when you mentioned Gab, G, because listen, bro, it's say now Sobek. Have you ever heard of Sobek?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sobek is Gab, right? So now Sobek is Saturn in Western astrology, right? And it just goes to show, Seb or Geb was the embodiment of the earth. He is called the prince of the gods as going before all the later gods. He is thus analogous to Saturn. And like you go back into Kronos was worshipped in Coptos as Sobek or Geb. The god Sobek, whom the Greeks called Suchos, is represented as a crocodile. Kronos/Saturn was also equated with the Egyptian crocodile god Sobek, and also something Petbe or something like that from the Greek pantheon.
Mm-hmm. And all of these different gods is just different generations of representing electromagnetism as different deities. Like it's on, like from my research, it shows me that all of these gods represent the macro body. Like Sobek represent you. You're also, like if I pull up the human electromagnetic, let me see. Check this out. We are Sobek. Now look what's on the head of every human. On a macro level, what we can't see on the ethereal plane is we got a spirit around us. And on top of our head is like a cup. That's called a crown chakra. That's what allow cosmic influence to enter our daily lives. If we got that shut, then we'll be like a record that's skipping. We won't be creating a new with our past. This would allow us to turn our past to new. But I'll get into that on another time. But this thing on top of his head just represent the crown chakra. It represent the two pillars that's bursting out of the crown, because coming out of the crown, you got the two pillars on each side. they turned it to the 10 Commandments as well. But all of these gods, you know, that's all they represent, man. And that's what my research lead me. Like, if you see this here, you see how they got Sobek around the dude body? That's representing the body that's around your body.
Right. I get that, bro. I'm all with that. I like with the Terudio feel and shit. I was just bringing it to your attention, though, King. Like, damn, it's a little bit deeper because I got all this other information, and I got like songs and shit that's written from the ancient, you know, like the Indians. Like, man, they, you know, inside of their songs they talking about when you know, the time before there was a moon. So it just makes you think about, okay, so you also got to start weighing all of the other information too, G. Like, I just saw a video. They just uncovered and mark my words when I say a brand new mummy. You see what I'm saying? A brand new 30-something thousand year old mummy. Like, they just uncovered it. It was just on the news and everything. So I just say to myself, God damn, Joe, and he had all kind of stuff in the tomb. Like, did they just bury, like, did they just make this nigga, put this nigga in the tomb with this shit and video record? Hey, look what we just found.
And you know what? It's some interesting things to think about, man. You know, as far as a time being without a moon, like I said, we'll probably won't be able to conclude on it, but you know, that'll be interesting to think about how the world may be just an infinite day, huh? Anybody in the chat?
'Cause I got a map of a square and stationary Earth, bro.
You need to share that with us, bro. And somebody in the chat room said they want to join. Yeah, y'all put your emails in the chat, man, and we'll get you on. But the time before there was a moon, I don't know, man. My research showed me that if you take the moon away, the whole right side of every human being would disappear. You understand how
Yeah, I just imagine that it's a dark side of the sun, like a black side of the sun. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's that 0 point energy field, bro. Like, I get what you're saying. Trust me, I swear I do, bro. Like, it didn't make sense to me. That's the reason I started researching it, like, literally. And I found all of these different translations in the Bible, people talking about it, like Plutarch, like just all of these different, you know, people that, you know, wrote from back in the day. Like, damn, this got to be something worth looking into, bro. So that's all it is. I ain't trying to troll your show, though, Joe.
Oh, no, we having a good bill, man. I'm just about to get a link back to some brothers who want to join in on. See, at this point, can't nobody troll, because this is like a breath of fresh air to my people, man. They've been waiting on me to stop talking about Nipsey and get back on electromagnetism and the shit that I be on. So trust me, man, y'all doing me a favor. In fact, I'm gonna try to make this damn stream go long just to redeem goddamn the rest of the shit. So yeah, you know, just this is where I want to keep my energy and frequency at right here, man. Now, see, the reason why I don't believe personally that was a time where the moon didn't exist, because to me that'll be like saying that was a time when the woman didn't exist. See, I see the sun and moon as masculine and feminine, and I don't think they can exist one without the other. Like a child can't exist without the mother can't exist without the child. They can only exist as a pair or not at all. And that's what my research led me to understand about the nature of reality, that the sun and moon can only exist as a pair or not at all. Because when you understand that the sun and moon are actually two sides of an electromagnetic energy field, if you remove one side of that energy field, it'll dissipate. So this is the sun and moon right here. Think of a VCR tape. You know how you got the two holes in a VCR tape, one for rewind, one for fast forward? See, as one rewinds, the other fast forward, and they balance each other out. But if the one that's rewinding move away, then it'll just be a constant fast forward, that'll dissipate. It'll release its energy into what they call the ethereal sea. It'll go back one with the ocean. It couldn't stand alone if it can't stand as a pair. So I don't know how y'all want to weigh in on this one, but this is just where, I'm, was led toward. I was led in that direction. Anybody on the panel want to weigh in on it? Or, hold on, I think we got a tech issue going on right now, man.
Hey, Brother Sanchez, let me say something real quick. I'm loving the build. It's beautiful. I got a lot going on around me right now. I'm watching, but please check your email and link with me. Y'all keep building. I'm going to try to link back in a few minutes, but keep building and check your email and please link with me, bro.
I definitely will do that. Most definitely. Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you for coming through.
No problem. Y'all keep building, man. Keep building.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, y'all talking about the ether. We talk about ether now, right? So everybody is ascending high. I listen to everybody dialect. I hear the one guy. Oh, it was Dynamo. He's talking about how he died and come back. How he been through the path of time. So that time is now forever. Everything that we look outside for is always within. That's the biggest secret, to keep you distracted from looking in. You are the center in the universe. And I realize this, right? You're talking about the Great Seal. Guess what the Great Seal was? The Pennsylvania. They sealed the vein. The pen sealed the veil over everybody. It was the pen that veiled the spell. If you realize this shit, your mind start elevating. You're opening up all of the keys.
Hold
and the
on
gates
for a second. Huey, let me ask you something. I gotta cut you off, bro, because I gotta ask you this. Nigga, what happened to your accent?
I switch it up because they don't listen. Hey, listen, they don't listen to the regular Huey. I can go back to him. But more, I want to sound foreigner because the truth sound foreign to dumbers. Hey, listen, they don't listen to the regular. Somebody got a feedback.
See, somebody just joined us. Shout out to them. Welcome everybody to the panel, man. Huey, you was building, keep building, my brother. Keep building, my brother. We feeling the things that are coming out of your mouth, my brother.
Yeah, brethren.
Check it out. Look, most people don't know that you're supposed to roll your R's, so you're supposed to growl and roll because guess what? They operate the seas, right? We are operated by the laws of the sea. Guess what? Pirates. The pirates rule all of the ship, the ownership, the corporate ships, the fucking partnerships, all the fucking ships. Roll your tongues like a fucking lion. Growl. Hey. The sleeping giant within is awakening. This is the ether, the black hole. All of everyone's connection become one whole connection. Dark.
I'm gonna repeat. I'm gonna remind you of some shit that you said, Huey, while you up here broke up. You might have been right about it, man. Cause you remember the time when you were trying to say the Earth was like on a circuit board, bro, and when nobody trying to hear that shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. It's kind of seeming like you might have had a point right there, man. Not necessarily a computer circuit board.
Hey, look, I have so many more points. Example, right? The pyramid. He's talking about how we getting controlled by the media. If you go look at the pyramid show that I show you, I show the pyramid. The media is one step above the people, the sheep that they keep at the bottom. And they put the all-seeing eye, the Pope. They don't even put Allah, the creator. They put the Pope at the all-seeing eye. So if you don't put yourself at the all-seeing eye, the man that you look up to is the fucking Pope.
Yeah. You gonna have to repeat that again, bro, cause damn, I got lost, boy. You talking fast as hell, man.
Laughing my ass off.
Bro be going in, passionate in the mud, man.
Hey, let me say something real quick. To Sanalu in the chat, I think if you got a piece, then you should come share your piece. Cause the brother said, channels like Sanchez is good for opening your mind, but he and others only have pieces. True. I think if you got a piece that you ain't gonna come and share, then you messing up now. Cause all you said,
we all only got a piece.
Hey, there you go now. And I think that the people that got a piece to the puzzle, but they don't want to share theirs, they keeping us from seeing the big picture. Think about it, right? That's how a puzzle works.
That's why we can't put it together. Because instead of building, the motherfucker want to discriminate on you building on it.
Unless they just talking.
Yes, because like people like me, I don't care about people how they look at me different. I can go back to talk to regular Huey, but they never listen to regular Huey. Even though they like Huey, it's a difference. Because you go to the scholarship, they say, I go for hell. I go for the Harvard or Yale. And they go talk to them and you say, because it's all about the way that you deliver it.
You right.
You hear?
Yeah,
It's all about the draw in the voice to make them draw their attention. The gravitational pull.
You right, bro.
The way that you channel your charge, the way that you're a ma'at. See, people lean too much to one side or the other. They don't know how to be the ma'at or walk the thin line. To be the true man, so you must walk the fine line.
Yeah, you definitely gotta walk that fine line. I'm gonna tell you something right now. You know, all of these religions and the symbolism that's ruling these people around the world, symbolism has always ruled the world. The things that's most deep and sincere to a people in their soul is a symbol. Some of your grandmas, it was a cross. Some of, you know, depending on what religion, is a different symbol. But when you start realizing that all of these symbols meant the same thing to different people who express the one code in their own way, you will see that all of the religious symbols that got people going to Water Day, Islam versus Christianity, is symbol wars. These are big gangs. Everybody got their sign they throwing up and they going to war killing each other. But before these symbols was corrupted to mean different things to different men, they meant everything to everybody, and it was the one code expressed in your way. If I tell 100 people to get a sheet of paper and write the alphabet A, we're gonna get the same alphabet but the different alphabet from everybody, because each one of them gonna write that A different. So when you look at all these symbols around the world, it was how all the ancients wrote the one code in a different way. And the code was simply electromagnetism. It's the foundation of all matter. And they had a symbol for it, and that was the Taurus field. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
You're right. Language, and you're the symbol. You're the symbol. That's why everyone want to put everybody else at the top. If you put anyone, it's the same thing, as above, so below, right? Men and women, it's the same, down below. They in, we out. At the top, they in, we out. You know, it's the same thing, as above, so below, to let you know that you have your positive and negative within. And stop separating oneself from everything. You hear? They tell us to spread ourselves out far and thin. You have to put yourself back together, one whole, meaning you build together. You build amongst the community, your mind, so we all think alike, so we walk alike and hear and feel the same things that we see upon our eyes.
I agree, bro. 100.
Hey, you better agree. You go off your head.
Back.
He said you better agree. Here we go off on your ass. Oh shit.
See the respect? It's just the power that I possess, you know? It's the feeling that I give to you because I make you feel good too. So why go against it when it feels good and it's true? No lie. The lie lies in the truth, you know? You can only see the truth if you know the lie. That's why he show you the lie so you can recognize for self. Only way you get it.
Yeah, man, I get the truth from all around me, bro. I really enjoy listening to y'all, man. I can't express myself, you know, like everybody else do, because I gotta throw in there, bro. Like, I have seizures, bro. I have complex partial seizures, so it's hard. And I heard Bro Sanchez say his brother has seizures too, so
You don't smoke weed?
Yeah, I mean, I smoke weed, bro, but I smoke them out of papers, bro. I mean, I smoke all the time, but you know, I didn't have seizures, but I had, and it's like a side note. I ain't trying to, you know, throw off the build or nothing, but I'm an artist, bro. So that's how, like, everything that y'all talk about, I express myself through my art, you know. So I can express myself through my art and my music, you know, because I can sit down and take my time with my thoughts and everything, and ponder on them a little bit better. But you know, I can't, you know, build like y'all, you know, but I appreciate all of the knowledge that I get from everybody. So y'all stuff inspire the art that I create, you know, behind the scenes. So,
Hey, can I say something about art? Can I say something about art, right? Right? Can I say something about art? If you don't mind. The art, right? Art is everything. This is what we have. That's why you have art in heart. You have art in here. You have art in earth, pardon me. You have art in smart. All right?
Yeah.
All right, because it take art to be all. You have the art. He has heart. That's where you put he and earth and art and all of the word in one thing, even ear and hear. You know?
Yeah.
It put it right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. Only if you knew to look inside of the spell. Look inside of the word. Just why you look inside of yourself, not just read it from right to left. If you look inside, then you understand. You can start speaking all language. I ascend in one night. I can talk. I ain't trying to get by and you know, this thing is all about the way you sling your tongue. It's about the way that you roll your tongue. Most of us wasn't taught how to use our tongue. It's the art, a craft. I always write my own language. That's how I'm so good with word math. You know?
Right. Yeah, that's, you know, that's technology, you know, like, you know, the spell, the sound, all of that, you know, all of that vibration and everything. I get what you're saying. It's, you know, in language and everything, bro, I'm working on creating my own type of language myself. Like, I know y'all be seeing the symbols I be throwing in the chat. Not my own language to get me by far, but I'm doing that for a reason, man, because I want people to realize you know, it's some things that we can't talk about, you know, out in the open and everything. I want us to be able to, you know, encrypt our messages, and we got to be smart with how we move, because if you're really talking about the truth and it's that important, you know, in order to build and do certain things, you know, you might have to, you know, hide some things and talk in private. Sometimes privacy is very important. So that's why I do what I do. And I'm working on, you know, creating my own type of language that I can speak, you know, with other people.
That's what you say. See, listen, that's what the secret society come in about. Because it comes secret, because you got to be secret upon your neighborhood to know how to move. That's why the gangs learn how to move in code, you know? And they learn it from up top because they learn how to build a structure. But they only walk by their structure, so they able to realize what structure you're up under. You know, that's why you have to rearrange your mind and rearrange your role amongst your neighborhoods. And they don't understand that LOL don't mean laughing out loud. It means goddamn Lord, you know, or whatever the fuck.
Yo, hey, Huey, I don't care what y'all say. Huey on one. I want the old Huey back. Fuck this roster, dude.
Laughing my ass off.
No, why not? Ain't that just a roster? It's the pirates. I tell you, we operate by the laws of the sea. You heard? I rule the role of all the sea and the land because I roam where I want. I don't drive. I roam in Rome like the emperor. The empire. I'm the fucking emperor of the empire. The ruler of the land. That's when you become one with self of the universe. Not just a fucking American or no African of the fucking earth. And you be the reflection of the universe, and the universe be a reflection of oneself. Hey, you're talking about a fucking islander. I'm all-lander. All land. All people. Not just no fucking black, no white. All animals, all things, all trees. We motherfucking cherish the earth, and they protect us. You want me to regular talk? Is that good enough? You know, it's the same thing, same words, same message. You know,
it seems like you playing. No, I know, but it's hard for me not to. I gotta get used to it. Guess what? After about a month of you doing it, then I'm gonna accept you like that, and then it's just gonna be regular.
I know. That's why I do it every day, because they think it's an act. You can't have act without having a fact. A fact is what act.
Hey,
How much act do I have to put on?
I take every man as serious as he presents himself, man. The way that everybody present themselves to me, that's how serious I'm gonna take you. So, I mean,
Hell yeah. Do you take my words for joke? Do the words sound for funny?
no, sir, I'm not laughing at your words at all, sir. I was laughing at just the essence.
I know.
Good, man. Everybody's supposed to.
I do it to make you laugh, so you can open yourself up. You know, that's how they do it with comedy. I understand the way they work their arts. That's how I know how to project myself out to people and to the max.
Hey, I'm digging it though.
Right on.
I'm telling y'all some real things. It's the realest things that y'all can record. You know, most people get on TV, right? Or the YouTube and want reality, and they're scared of it because they look upon it like this foreign. That's why I sound like a foreigner, because I change it up, because it sounds foreign to dumb ears. Most people wouldn't realize that they dead and how they awaken the dead, you know, because you're walking around and you're considered dead by the law. That's why they shoot you down, bummer, cause you're motherfucking black. Laugh, huh? Yeah, think a joke. Ponder roof. You know, when I say ponder, what is ponder? And you know what ponder mean? Think.
Bro.
No, it don't. No, I'm just lying. I'm trolling you. Guess what?
Look it up.
Hey, guess what? I'm gonna tell you what ponder mean. I'm gonna tell you what ponder mean right now.
Meditate.
No, that's they lied to you, Huey. My brother, listen, my brother, you know the white man lied to you and his sister, my brother. You know, but no. You got, if you're gonna listen, my brother. Let me put on my Rasta act, because you forget, my brother, that the word ponder means Pondy River. That's what the words ponder mean, my brother.
Okay, now check this out. Listen to me now, brother. You're right. And guess what the river is? Water. Guess what water is? Information. Think. I say ponder because I say what I give it for. Think. I say ponder to make you think and wander. Not wander around. I mean wonder. What the fuck is he talking about? Think. Ponder.
Nah, that
brother. No, brother. Rastafari do not think.
And it has you to do.
Yes, on the pond.
My brother.
On the pond, you got to be on the floor of the river and have the information of water, which is knowledge. Knowledge is knowledge.
Rastafari. Now listen to me, brother. Listen to me, brother, my Rasta brother. See, we're going to have to do this very slowly, see. We have to realize that Rasta don't think, you know. We just smoke, my brother.
You're right, but I think a lot. That's what's problem with Rastafari. I think so much and I smoke a lot. So, you know, I have a lot of thoughts on my mind.
Hey,
and more thoughts than something.
What y'all smoking?
I smoke more than you don't know. I smoke knowledge.
No. What are you smoking out of, bro? Are y'all smoking healthy or y'all
I do not smoke knowledge. I smoke 100% ganja from Rastafari land. And me not and me no think. Me no think. Me just smoke. Me no think. 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 Me just smoke. Me no think. Me just smoke.
Yeah. Think high. You know, you think high. All high. Everybody must be high. Most high. Most people high. That's why you say you're the most high. Huh?
This shit is fucking fun, Huey. I got to try this Rasta talk some more, my nigga. Hey, this Rasta talk is fucking fun, yo.
Hey, look, entertaining for your show, too. Entertaining. Tell them go ahead and send a collection in for the ponder.
Hey, guess what? I'm gonna do a whole live stream in this Huey voice, nigga, about them ether.
I must be there because I got everybody in the tiger. You see Quentin right now, he in there going, you just started some shit like a tiger. I tell the ponder, you a motherfucker. They come around, they say, you look like Huey. I say, no, that's my twin. I ain't from the island. We are from fucking the same mother. He is fucking identical. We are the same. You hear my slang? I tell them the motherfucker. They say, no, where your ID? I said, ID? I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Huey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, last stream I was listening to, you was on another show. You was getting into them numbers though, and about how that shit just more than a number chain. How that shit like a man, like you know what I'm saying? Like it teach you within itself the number timeline. If you want to build on that and really get into that, I think that'd be a good way, a good build.
I think okay, yeah, I can talk about numbers. I love numbers. You know,
Mike, when he did it on the one that you heard, did he do it in the roster voice?
Nah, he didn't do it in the roster voice. It wasn't his show. It was on the comedian show. I was just listening.
Hey, he got to do it in the regular Huey voice then for us then too. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. I'll do it in the regular Huey voice for y'all. Cool. Hey, check this out. Numbers. Pardon me. Numbers. Dealing with numbers. They taught us in school to go 1 through 9. I got so many things with numbers, all right? You know, they teach us, 1 through 10, pardon me, all right? But we know that we got to go from 0 to 9. 9 is the highest you can go up on the scale, up or down. All right, pardon me. I go back to myself where I want to sound intelligent. Pardon. God damn. All right. So we start from 0 to 9. That's 10 digits. That's only digits that it is. 0 to 9. And start from nothing to something. This is why we came from nothing to be everything. All right. When you start from 0, 0 is the balance place between positive and neutral. Keep you grounded. You know that your feet is 360 degrees or a square, whatever you want to look at it. Keep your balance. All right?
That's cool. That's why they say stand on your damn square. You right. And in the military, they make you stand like that too. But
right. And keep you on your square. It's always aware. Keep you aware of everything around you. All right?
Yeah, man.
So then when you're dealing with numbers, right? You came from 0, not from 1 to 9, and then go to 1 to 0. And it leaves you blind because it make you're not looking at the reflection. You feel me? Once you realize that everything must reflect itself as above, so low, you go 0 and 1. What's the reflection of the 0 and 1? The 9. When you put it together, it makes the 9. You know, that's how it reflects in the mirror. So you know that everything in between those was created with time. Because those things was the first 2 things that created all of everything. 0 and the 1 that made the infinite, masculine and feminine 9. The divine 9. 9 ether. This is what we talk about ether. This is the 9 ether being taught.
Since we're talking about this, like I remember y'all remember the circle and the square argument that y'all was having a little while back? And y'all was saying like the circle and the square came at the same time. That's why I was honestly saying that the circle came first, because like correlating like the 0 and the 1. Like,
but listen. Hold on, let me just cut in and say this. The circle is the 0 as a woman, and the square is the 0 as a man. The 0 itself is sexless, is neutral. But that's what I'm saying. A female is sexless. She's genderless. She can create either or. The womb is neutral. Boy, girl can come out. It's 0.0 right there, biology. But we talk about the square and the circle, they both are the same, but they just are masculine and feminine.
Right, I get
that. Exactly. What makes the square masculine is just lines, straight like a phallus, you know? But it goes all the way around like a womb. You feel what I'm saying? Because it comes from the womb. That's why you can spin the square and make the circle. You can't spin the circle and make a square. You hear? That's why the circle was created first. The circle first.
Here's the thing. Hold on, Corey. Hold on. I want to be clear to everybody out there. What I'm saying is that the circle and square was created at the same time. Just like if you create a donut ring, you're gonna create the donut hole in the middle at the same time.
Just like that 0 and 1 was created at the same time.
Yeah, pardon me. The 0 and the 1 is the same time. That's why I say it comes divine. 0 and the 1, the beginning and the end was created at the same time. Just like dark and night, light and black, white and black, Chinese, all everything at one time. Not different because it's all beginning and just the end. It's over. It's not the beginning of the end. It's just the beginning, in between, and the end is over.
Brother,
And they get Adam and Eve from that 0 and 1.
Yes, we did. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's it. Like, if y'all let me talk, I was really trying to get at something interesting because I was really thinking deep on this, like on this type of level. Like, I get what y'all saying, but shapes we have to understand are actually, like you said, they're the buildup of the masculine energy, which build up to make. Once you make the actual shape, you have to use the line. So I get the actual thing that makes the circle. The original compass is a line. That's why when you go out there and look at the flat earth, the horizon is a horizontal line. So when you take a line, you don't have to make a shape in order to make a circle. When you use the line, that's how you make a perfect circle. Because if you use any 2 points, and no matter if the line is straight or it has a zigzag or anything like that, if you take that line and it has 2 points and you rotate it 360, it's gonna make a circle. So that's the original compass. This is where the Freemasonry, that's why they call it compass.
Exactly.
It's not compass because the compass is 2 lines. That's why they call it compasses.
Only thing I'm telling you is that when we talk about the square and the circle, we talk about the vertical and the horizontal, the floor and the roof. And you ask which one come first. I just think they both come together. I ain't debating. I just think everybody's sharing their viewpoints. Like when you say the line come before the circle, right? Think about it. The line start from the circle, which is the dot. Before you even draw the line, you make impact and create the dot.
Right.
The point. It always go back to the point.
So if you think of a straw as a line, it started from the 0. Look down into that straw as a 0, but it's a line though. So they both exist together. It's the same thing. That's just how I look at it. But we all just.
Yes, I would say.
Good thinking, bro.
Point is everything. It's not just the line. It's not just the one. It's everything in existence. This conversation that we have, the mind, everything was created at one point and it moved. If you got a blank piece of paper, right, and you know the creator, you'll probably create everything, all of everything. They say may not. Most people say maybe not. No, because they don't know that it all was created all together. But you take a blank piece of paper, a clean canvas, and you put a point. Before you move the point, everything was created at that point, and it just moved. Once you get back to the point of that point, everything is still that point. Don't you understand?
You need the space before the land.
You say what? What you say, Corey?
No, I said most definitely. Like that's what you were saying, bro. Sanchez, with the point. Like that's what I was getting at. Like it gets deep. It's like it's almost like the yin and the yang, basically. With the whole point and the line thing. I get what y'all saying, but I was just saying, at that time, y'all were like stuck on, focusing on the square and the circle, but I was trying to break it down to the circle and the line in my essence, like I was just explaining. But now y'all broke it down even more than I was looking at it with the, the dot. I didn't think about the dot at first, and I'm an artist. I do realize I draw every day of my life. Everything start with a dot, a circle. I get that. So y'all are right. I get exactly what y'all come. I'm not big enough. Too big to say, that I'm wrong. I'm always open, and that's what the fuck I'm here for.
Now, let me show you something, Corey. You're an artist, right?
Right.
Now, when you paint your picture, you got a little section where the people. Now, if you got an audience, right, and you painting a painting, that audience looking up there at that canvas, but you got a little desk over there holding your little paint. And it's so messy, it got like water, shit spilt, and you going over there to wet your brush and change the colors and mix shit, but it's just a little pile of little colors and material you use to paint what's on the canvas. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what the North Pole is. It's a pile or a mountain of all the elements that the creator using to paint this reality. And since it's a thing that's constantly in motion or is happening in real time, the painter can't stop painting, as we'll all die. So it's like a brush. You look at that, like if I pull up, you think of the tip of your brush. When your brush touched the canvas, let me show you what it looked like. I'm gonna screen share it this time, because this brother's an artist. When your brush touched that canvas, my brother, don't it look like the top of this thing right here when it flattened out like a little?
Honestly, yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. I don't paint. Honestly, I'm a pencil artist, but that's exactly what it looks like when you paint.
Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying? So like when you painting, that brush tip is a point, but when it's in action and it's painting on that canvas, that the little thread spread out like this thing here at the top. And this is what I'm saying, that the Most High is a painter. This electromagnetism thing, earth, the ground we walk on is a huge canvas, and the brushes that's painted is above and below right here. You can see these two brushes. So I'm just painting this thing in a way with words to show you how even with art you can see, you know, this code here, man. But I'm glad you brought that up, because the different colors that create the picture are the different elements that come together to create the picture that we call reality. Same concept. It's simple when we start using parables, because a parable is what? A pair of bows. Here they go right here. This the code of how I even teach it.
A pair of bows, yes.
That's right, bro. Like, you know, even in math, you know, I know it's Pythagoras stuff, but parabolas, you know, it's like a little art, you know.
Yeah, everything is an art. Even the way I talk to y'all on these streams, some people see the art form behind it. Some people just call me a dick. You know what I'm saying? But I'm actually speaking in parable a lot of time, and that's why I pointed to this shit. But these kind of bills is what I like to have right here, man. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. You see this shit here? This is a patent for an electromagnetic energy generator, and it's a capacitor. Different. What it is the same thing the Earth is. That's all I'm trying to point out. That the Earth we live in is a science behind it. Like, it ain't no mishaps. Something with a great mind. This is a huge energy generator, and it's the life that we live as humans. We come in and out of these different little rings by dying and reborn. And these little circles within circles are the worlds within worlds that I was showing you earlier. We was talking about Saturn. This is the science behind it, the rings within the rings. But guess what? Now,
yo, you said the rings within the rings, because we the Lord of the Rings. Each one have their own ring, right? Check this up. Look, you say you come with arts, right? Guess what? We went back to arts. As I put hearts, guess what we put? Starts. It starts, and you look at starts in the mirror. It starts all the way again. You know here. Hey man, look. Spell is a spell. When you look at it, and you got the stars, and the starts. You know what I'm saying? It's like once you see it, and the stars is all what's going with time. You know, fucking you will start realizing the spell. Shit's so deep, man. Once you realize that the holes, each one is a black hole. Each one is a universe. Each one is their whole universe. Looking outside the mirror, you're trapped inside the mirror, your spirit. When you're looking in each other's face to face, the only thing that you both are is the space in between you, your air. That's what the spirit is within everybody. The spirit, the air.
Well,
have you seen the experiments where they tried to collect energy from the ionosphere?
Man, and you know what? I haven't saw those, but I've heard of them. I'm gonna tell you right now, whatever they doing, I'm telling you, it's some Tesla shit that they reverse engineering.
Yeah, absolutely, but you know, the way they're doing it, it just seems so. I guess they're not getting as much as they should out of it. You know, because even if you look at I looked at one of your videos before with the pyramids, and when they had the precious metal cap or the metals on top of the pyramids, and they were able to collect energy from the atmosphere in that form, and they had the wires going along the pyramids, and they would be able to collect it in those tombs, things where they could fill it up with grape juice or whatever. And we know that would act as a battery, so it would continuously be charged. by just by the atmosphere alone, and they could light the city with just the pyramid, like the little towns that they had around that pyramid. You know, that was a form of energy that they were creating, or they were just re-energizing the fruits that they collected from the earth. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro, it makes sense on why they try to act like they don't know what they out there for. The whole, you know, they ain't gonna tell you the truth.
Well, they've been doing this with churches for a long time. You know, if you like, they have the
we were talking. Like, you know what? Me and Masterpiece was talking about this on a couple of shows. How they generate energies from these church steeples and shit like that. You're right.
Yeah, because they had an electrician go up one of those steeples, open it up, and he had to repair one of the wires that go down there. I'm an electrician. I do electrical work here, so I know. I mean, this is what I do. I'm a home mechanical repair person. You know,
is it true? Is it true that when the lights go off in the city, the church the only one with lights because they running they shit from the steeple generator and the ionosphere, or is that a myth?
I mean, there's going to be a lot of people still with lights because people have generators and all types of things like that. And yeah, that is a way that they. I mean, it's.
That would be a generator because that steeple would be generating energy by pulling it from.
That's exactly what it is. Yes, that's exactly what it is, and it's pretty simple. But that's why they have to keep they have the cross at the very top, and it has to be made out of a precious gold, nothing less than copper, pretty much. You know, like aluminum will work, but aluminum it's not.
He just said something real good. Let me tell y'all this. No way in fucking hell that can they turn off electric all around the world because we are electricity. The trees are electric conductors with electric can flow through. This is why it's grounded to the earth. This is the ground wire. You hear? And the goddamn antennas is the leaves. Just like your scalp on your head is the antennas, but you keep your feet from being grounded. It's the same thing it passed through. All you got to do is have an electric conductor, just like you said, from pole to post, from tree to tree, and let the wire and make it. What they do? They wrap the wire in the rubbering so the motherfucking shit don't explode or get hot with the water hitter and all the sparks start flying. That's the only reason.
DC could be very dangerous. DC could be very dangerous because you get so much energy from the atmosphere. It's so much. It's just like static electricity will shock you so much harder than 12 volts, like 24 volts of AC current. You get what I'm saying?
That's what they want you to tell you. That's why they put rubbers on your feet and rubbers on your cars so you don't have all the electricity because you create so much friction when you walk upon the earth. But they don't want you to have that energy because then you'll be able to fly and then you'll be able to move fire, move the wind, move every fucking thing from within.
Yeah, but we're grounded people anyway, though.
Exactly. No, but you're cutting it off.
Hey, now let me show y'all something real quick.
Cutting it off through your soles of your shoes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, receiving the vibrations from the earth into our bodies, so that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Can I? Yeah, and vice versa is receiving it from us too. It's symbiotic. Yeah. Now,
absolutely, yeah.
And see, whatever you receive from the earth is what you giving it. Remember that too. See, we all receiving. When we say we receiving energies from the earth, this energy is creating your reality. Every now moment is the energy that you're receiving for the earth. It's called cosmic influence. Everybody ain't receiving that energy, so their reality is being created by another motherfucker. They're a slave. Somebody else planning their day-to-day actions for them. But when you receiving cosmic influence and living your life truly by making actions that ain't dictated by nothing else, and you your own person, that's what right there what I'm talking about being control of your own reality. Shaper of your own, what happened to you is your fate. Some people can't do that. They just gonna retire with a company, man, and that company is gonna shape their reality every day. What time they gotta be there and all that, you know. But what I'm saying, when you fully go, if you was living out in the Amazon with them people on the earth, every moment is a conscious experiment. Time fly with Americans because we ain't on our time. We on the master time. So when you start living, when you you want, And see, and then what I'm gonna show you too, and I'm gonna pass the mic, cause man, shout out to all of y'all brothers. You creating your own time and your own conscious experience based upon the influence of the cosmic, the luminaries above you. The crown chakra is a black hole called, basically inside of your brain is a black hole, and it's pulling in all the starlight, and it's taking it in as cosmic influence. It's entering the brain through the pineal gland and being siphoned through the heart and out the root, just like you see here. Once the energy passes the heart, but you've already been influenced by the cosmos and made a decision of that action. This is happening every second, y'all. So every action you take either is influenced by the cosmos or an outside reaction, another man or a person like that. That's how they create slavery, where they can get the whole world actions and reality to be created based upon what they're doing. That's the puppet master. But before that, all of us puppets was connected to the strings called the starlight, because the crown chakra connect every human to the stars, and all of us pull in the starlight and we thread it up. What happened in this cup, all the starlight get woven up into a braid, just like I'm showing you here. At the top of our crown chakra, this is what's happening. The starlight is being put into the pineal gland, and these zodiacs is supposed to influence you. And if that ain't happening, then the government influencing you, somebody else controlling the sheeple. So we're not plugged into the starlight no more. We're not what they call star seeds anymore, because they cut this off. See, here's the thing. You can close that cup, and the cosmic influence of the true creator will no longer influence your reality. And when that happened, you're on their grid, on their influence. Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and everybody's the same. Clones, using the same slang, acting the same brands. It's a matrix. People say I'm unique, and you can be unique too when you plug into the universe. Unique mean getting in tune with the universe. You're gonna be just another motherfucker, another Cardi B acting woman, another rapping acting nigga, if you ain't getting your influence from the stars. That's what make me different from all these niggas. And see, difference ain't accepted in a world that loves the norm. So that's another thing. So if you can't be outstanding trying to fit the fuck in. It's impossible. Think about what I'm saying. You want to be outstanding, but still fit in. So what I'm telling you, go ahead, brothers, cut in, because
no, you're right. Go ahead. You're right. Go ahead. This is why I changed my style up. And you say you'd rather have the regular Huey P, but I try to be outstanding and stand and be instanding, you know, but be overstanding and understanding. But at the same time, right, I'm not trying to be insane, but I want to be out of my mind. I don't want to be out of my mind. I don't want to be insane. So how the fuck do I be either one? I be the balance. The balance. Yeah, I talk like that. I say, fuck it. I just change all the dialect because all the words are a fucking mystery. That's the biggest shit.
And that's a good point, wisdom seeker. The other side is the pituitary gland. That is fucking deep, wisdom seeker. Because I told you that the crown is linked to the pineal gland, how it's pulling in the light. And the gland that's letting the light exit is the pituitary gland. Shout out the wisdom seeker. What you saying is deep because the first three words in pituitary gland is pit. So it makes sense that the pituitary gland would be the gland that light is exiting out, or the root chakra, the pit, the bottomless pit, the root chakra, the pituitary gland. See, we cracking codes now. This is the type of shit that I love right here.
Yes, sir. You coding. They coding. You're unlocking in the boxes of the brains, bro. That's why we're the gang in here. Flat motherfucking power. Flat Panther power.
Think about this though. Think about this too. Something that Huey was saying about why he changed his thing up. I'm gonna tell y'all why you shouldn't do what Huey doing and be serious. I think he just trolling. But what I'm telling you is this, because the first parts of unique and universe is you. You gotta be you. That's the first part. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So, you know, I know you.
Right on, bro.
How many cells within you? Guess what this is? How many cells within you? How many cells within you make you up? You know? So how many people you try to reach? Yeah, I try to reach all dialect, not just one person, one mind frame. I try to touch all of the brains, you know?
Hey, bro, Sanchez.
Uh-huh.
I'm having some problems, bro, like understanding, like how is this, I guess, you know, the best way I could break down my comparison is like this whole 5G type of thing coming in, the way that all of this, you know, we're going to be able to connect into different things, you know, with internet and stuff like that through a whole bunch of, you know, unsensible stuff. Is this like a synthetic type of version of what, you know, the ether would be like if we was actually able to tap in and do what we're supposed to be doing with the energy and stuff? If we happen.
Yeah, I think so, man. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna go back to this image here, which is we was talking about Saturn earlier. And so, yeah, they created Google. See, if you look at this, this is what you see when you cut open a tree. This ripple effect or this concept of Saturn is a code of nature. It's a code of nature that became these dumb, spooky gods to throw us off. But it's very simple. And this is the code, and what I'm showing you here is the same thing here. They generating electrical devices based upon this code. And you can see when you cut a tree open, you see the same thing. That's what the flat earth is. You ask me what is Google? Well, Google is one of these rings because it's a world within this world. But it's a paradigm. They're trying to actually make the reality where you can get inside of the computer, and that's called virtual reality. Now, when they succeed at that, it'll be an option deep in the future where your kid can be born in a virtual world, meaning you can put them glasses on at a young age, or they can build it into the eyes, and they don't got to live in the world outside. They'll be in a virtual world, like a virtual video game, and it can be synonymous with this world to where if you walk in your house, it can be a raggedy ass house, but in this virtual world, they got a what they call it, a filter over it. You really think you in a mansion, but you in a roach infested ass room because you in a mind matrix. They got the technology where they doing that now. So being able to upload human consciousness and create virtual realities and different, you know, webs, if you will. They're trying to harness that and be able to inject you into the web. So right now they got your thoughts already downloaded. They got your DNA downloaded. They're trying to find out now how to create this web-based reality within this reality, and that'll turn into people getting eye surgery to get certain filters over their eyes to hide the real reality. So you can walk past a polluted ass river, but it's really a pretty river because they got these filters on our eyes, like how some of these ugly people put a filter on their picture and they look good. That's the reality they trying to go to, y'all. That's what they trying to do. They trying to make a filtered world or a matrix, because they fucking this world up and they want to build a new one in your mind so you won't be able to see the fuckery that's really you living in. Sounds crazy, but that's what's going on.
Bro, honestly, that's crazy. That's some crazy shit. Like, I ain't never heard no shit like that before, but you know, it ain't too crazy to me because, you know, looking at the world we live in now, man, you know, that's how I feel sometimes on a daily basis. I get sick when I look at cities and stuff like New York and all of these damn concrete buildings and shit like that. That's how I feel like I'm in a reality I'm not supposed to be in, because I'd rather see trees and greenery everywhere, bro. But yeah, you're right. Right.
I can back up what I'm saying with sacred geometry real quick. Here's something I'm working on, this blood plasma series, and the stuff I'm telling you now gonna go into what I'm telling you about how they trying to create this matrix. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share this image here. This is from Google. You see how they got the DNA at the North Pole with all the flat earth rings around it? They rubbing it right in y'all damn face, and people think we tripping. Let me share my screen with the people. so they can see it. This is from Google. Can the people on the panel see what I'm showing? Is Google is taking the flat earth ripple effect shit that I've been teaching y'all. Now I've been teaching this shit. I've been teaching this shit, getting laughed at, and now Google coming out with it, and they telling you what I was telling you. At the center of the earth is DNA, where DNA is being created. That's what I've been telling you. DNA is Jacob's ladder, is a ladder. You climb it. You see what I'm saying? And our plasma, our blood is liquid light. See, when the body decomposes and the blood dry up, what does it turn to? It go from solid, liquid, gas, but they ain't tell you the fourth state of matter, which is light, or ether, which is light, ether. That's what the soul is, light, soul, light, ether. So we travel back to the source in the middle of the earth as a pure light beam. This is the UFO concept that they stole. And that light that's being accepted from the ether is literally your dried up blood, man. When you die and your blood turn into a gas, the next phase is gonna turn into is light. That's plasma is light, man. Plasma is light, is yellow, is liquid light. When it dries up, you return back to the top where the light coming from, up at the top of the dome where the opening is, what Google's showing you. See, if you look at this tree stump, the seed started in the middle and it's gonna return to the ground at that middle point. When that tree fall and die, it's gonna drop in the same damn spot that it grew at. We're trees, you move around, but the concept is the same. You started at the North Pole when you came here, and you're gonna leave out through that portal. That's the in and out portal for the soul. So when your soul came into this reality, the light put clothes on, and those clothes was earth, water, wind, and fire, and closing the light was the body. But when the body decomposes and releases the light back to the source, it returns the way it came and take the clothes back off. We call it decomposition. So this is what Google's showing you in the bottom right corner, because that logo that you see right there is a Google parent company where they're trying to create age-defying products out of our plasma. Did you hear me? Google got a parent company, it's called Calico, and that's their logo right there, y'all, DNA. They're taking plasma that's being donated by Americans to create technology to defy the aging process for rich people. And this is their symbol. They know that your blood is the gateway into the damn ether. That's why in order to, when they talk about blood sacrifice, that's the thing around it. It's like an access card. It's like if you got a building with a doorway entrance that's designed when you wave a copper metal, you got these cards, right? The card got a certain copper plate in it. When you wave it across, the door open. That's the code to get in. If you don't got that, it don't open. Nature made the same way, but instead of a copper card entry system, it's a plasma entry system. The sky is made of plasma, and it will only accept the same type energy. So you can't take a rocket up there. In other words, you can't take earth, water, wind, and fire through the ether, because the ether is what the elements transform themselves through. So if you look at a snowflake turning into water and then evaporate and being a snowflake again, what made it before it became a snowflake again, it was pure light. It was before it became a snowflake again, it was pure light. And that's the fourth state of matter that they not telling us about. They tell you that the snowflake went from solid being a snowflake to liquid being water, then to gas when it evaporated, and back to solid again. Nope, the gas go to ether, then back to solid. All of the Trinitarian initial elements have to recycle themselves through the fourth element being ether. That's what they're hiding. So if you look at this image, that's what it's showing you, how all of the elements that make this egg recycle themselves through that ethereal pole in the middle. And when they get there, they breaking down into ether energy. So that when they taking our blood to penetrate the ether, to coat something, Now, back when they was doing Operation Fishbowl, they was taking human blood plasma to coat the top of the missiles to penetrate the dome, because they know that in order when you die, a gateway open to accept your soul. They trying to fool nature and put the blood on a rocket thinking it can open up, basically. And what they doing with all of these plasma centers is they trying to create the same type of renewal energy that recycle a human and reincarnate them without them having to die. So they're trying to turn it into something they can corporatize and have the option of you not being recycled through the North Pole. You can be recycled through a corporation who created a certain portal. Eventually the age-defined product's gonna turn to portals, man. I'm telling you, this is what CERN is about. Once they start defining age, they doing it by injecting young blood. They taking our plasma, they define an age. But what that's gonna turn into is what they're trying to turn that human plasma into a light portal that you will be able to walk in and out of and renew yourself. And that's what happens upon death. It's a scanning system. It's a light beam. And once you cross it, it renews your energy. So they're trying to create that at CERN, but you can't create, it's like a man-made portal to heaven, but they don't really want to go to heaven. They just want to dip their feet in heaven to get the eternal properties of it. That's what CERN is about. They want to baptize themselves in the heavenly waters, basically. And it's ethereal light. Now, plasma, which is what human blood is made out of, the earth know to accept you and your own personal portal when you bleed upon death and your blood decomposes. That's telling the ether you died, okay, and when that plasma turn into light, it accepts you in. That's your entry card. They call it the MasterCard. All right, if you look at the MasterCard symbol, it is this symbol and it got the light in the middle. It's the MasterCard symbol got the same color as plasma, that straw colored, little orangey yellowish color. That's what they telling you, that the MasterCard is how you enter the ether. You can't go until you die. You can't launch a rocket up there and like NASA trying to do. They're trying to use our plasma to make certain technology to let them travel through the heavens or the ether, the barriers. But nature ain't gonna let them cheat this shit. Each one of us gotta die ourselves to pass through. They're trying to make, yeah.
You think somebody already then lost their life trying to do that?
Trying to do it.
Operation in CERN. You don't think they didn't open up a portal yet by now?
Yes, bro. I got a video with this lady. She doing a whole seminar showing them that literally at CERN that they have been done it. They call it a stairway to heaven, like literally. But she even show where you can't even tell, bro. It's like literally like some type of a wormhole. But she pointed out like, it's right there. You can't see it, but it's there. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, I promise you, they way more advanced than that with that though.
Hey, let me say something real quick. Guess where it's at? You said you could see it. It's right there. It's right there, right? Ain't that what you said? Guess where it's at? Everywhere you always look. I mean, everywhere but where you always look. It's like Mr. Miyagi tell Daniel's son. It's right there. You just got to look. And where is it? Inside. You always look outside of your eyes for everything: happiness, love, wealth, answers, reading, information, food, you name it. All of everything you look for in a life outside of your two eyes. You never realize to use your third one to look inside of your fucking self for it all. That's why you don't rather sacrifice one thing to gain the world, right? I ask everybody, if you can gain the power of the world, would you sacrifice one thing to do it? You must sacrifice something. You must sacrifice.
See, and I'm gonna tell you something about sacrifice. Nipsey Hussle died on the numbers. The numerologist surrounding Nipsey Hussle was 33. And since we talking about the ether, let me go into that real quick. this is your 33 right here. It's 2 3s that's facing toward each other to make the number 8 for infinity. That's DNA. I'll pull up a paint. So what I'm about to show you right now is the secrets of 33. And this is something got to do with Nipsey Hussle. I said I wasn't going to bring him up, but I lied. Got to bring him up for this because everybody talking about the 33s. But it ain't, you know, clout chasing, you know. We just get into the esoteric knowledge. Because a lot of people wanted to know, like, why is 33 so important in masonry? Because it represents DNA. There go one of the 3s. There go the other 3. 33 is DNA. And that's what Google is showing you. So 33 is this electromagnetic energy field on the screen as well. You can see the 2 3s. See the 2 3s pointed at each other just the way I showed you. 33 is the code of the electromagnetic energy field. Now let me break some down to you. There are many Masonic degrees that's after 33. So why do we always talk about the 33? Because this is the knowledge that you get when you reach the 33rd degree, the knowledge of the Taurus field. So what I'm gonna share with you at this time, y'all, is why Jesus died at age 33. Because here go your 2 3s, it's just electromagnetism. Nipsey dying at age 33. Like I said, if you want to decode his name, Nip the C, Hush the Cell, I mean, it's a lot of meaning to that. Nipsey, Hush Cell. Because, you know, when you penetrate the ether, that's nipping the C. And it will hush the cell because the body feels the opening. It's just, I mean, it's just a lot of shit points to, this shit is weird, man. And you know, when you start thinking about it this deep, it makes so much sense. But to people who don't think this deep, you sound like a damn lunatic to these folks, man.
Hey, that's the crown of Tor. Crown of Tor, you hear me? You know, like thorns, like you know what I'm saying? Thorns is Tor.
Yeah, man, this is the secret of secrets that they're hiding is the ether. You know, the word secret is another word for ether because it is the secretor of energy. It's a constant secretion going on. And all of the words linked to this cosmic secretion is secretive. And that's just the weird thing about it. Like, this shit is so weird that the more I find out, the more I want to go somewhere in isolation and just hide because I think I know too much, goddamn it. Real talk, because it's like, it may sound crazy to a lot of people, but if you really think about this shit, like all of the words lining up, the numbers lining up, the etymology lining up to this one secret right here, this is it. This is the Holy Grail, and the fact that it shapes like a Holy Grail. And what I like about this one, the Holy Grail, or what they call a hyperboloid, reciprocates. This one show you how it reciprocates in the middle, how it breathes, how your stomach get big and it gets small when you breathe. In the middle of the earth, that's what's happened. We're inside the belly of the beast. That's why they call it the belly of the beast. But what we got to do is ascend up to the mind and to get out of those lower belly, like, see, beyond this world is a higher world where everyone that exists here exists there in a higher state. They might not be there, but their prototype will run along there on autopilot until their consciousness catch up with themselves to their higher self. So you may be born in this hellish world with wars and religion till you waking up to your higher self. And when you do that, you'll instantly leave this world and be born into that one. Something happen to you in the form of death or something like that to it. And I know that sounds scary, but when you understand that death ain't really death, it's the universe way of pushing you to your next level. It's gonna happen to you. You can't escape it because the higher self waiting for the lower self to catch up with it. It's magnetism. So when I showed you all them different versions of worlds within worlds, that's what they're trying to give you here. This come from globalists. But what they're giving you was what I was giving you earlier with all the ring worlds and Saturn. We ain't on a globe, we're on a ring world. It's a flat ring like a CD disc. Where the hole at in the middle of the disc is the one that's spinning it. That's the North Pole, the creator. So one way you can look at this is each song that's on the outside of the vinyl record, the further away you go from the center, is said to be higher heavens. It's the same song, but it's played more. You know how like the Temptations can go on tour and they can sing them same songs in different cities, but you be like, man, I like the way they sung it in Baltimore. They didn't do too good in Houston. That's how it is. All around the world, same song. That's what they mean. The world is the entire cosmos, and all around it is the same song, but played better and better. So this world exists beyond this world, but in a better version. All of the possibilities that can play out for reality, the good and bad, exists in the same space. And wherever you find yourself at in between the good and bad is your level of vibration and understanding. You can't get to the higher levels till you vibrate on the higher levels. And that's what we call death, when you outgrow this world and you join and go, you know, to the heavenly planes. But the crazy thing about it is when you get there, it's this place all over again, but in a better way. Maybe it's no governments, no bad music, you know, no world wars, and people all vegans creating their own energy. But yet it's still jealousy though, and it's a couple of fights in the villages. So then you see that this world is better than the last one, and it's more heavenly, but it ain't all it can be better. So you outgrow that one and go to an even better one. Well, hey, same thing of the last one, but it ain't no fights. It ain't none of that, but you still in the body. You got to live and die. You got to, you know, so you keep moving out and out until the experience, which is the same experience, get better. When we say stuff like, why couldn't the world be this way? Why couldn't the world be that way? The world is all of those beautiful ways in your head. You just gotta go to them. They exist around this hellhole. You came here to remind yourself of those, to reactivate the memory, because we don't go to those worlds. We load them up like you loading up some shit on a computer. If you don't remember how to load it, you'll keep by default loading back here to this bullshit. But that world that you saying is so much better than this one, and why couldn't the world be better? It exists, but it took you to come here to realize that world. So this was the gateway to the next world, and the next world you go to, that ain't gonna be the end. See, right now, heaven to you is heaven to you because where you at now. But when you get to heaven, that's gonna be normal to you, and you're gonna be trying to go higher than that. And it's a never-ending story. That's what they call it. That's why it look like a maze. It's a ripple effect. It go out and out and out forever. And the thing is we going outward and outward and outward from the center, because the further out you go, the more you become your own light and your own center, like what this globe showing you, and you will become a ripple in the ether, and you will become a North Pole. So I'm just interpreting ancient concepts. If you look at raindrops hitting the surface of a water, each drop is creating its own ripple effect, but they all marry each other. They create the MasterCard symbol. So some drops, ripples will start merging into each other. And that's what this is. That's what all of this reality can be summed up like that. That's what the flower of life is. A bunch of driplets creating their own ripples, and they're connected by the ripples. Here it is right here. You look at all of these little X's as driplets with their own ripples, but they being born from a huge ripple at the center because that's a bigger vibration. So think if it's a hurricane going on in the ocean. That hurricane eye is so strong, but you still got raindrops in the water making they little ripples around that big ass eye. That's what we are. We're little raindrops around a bigger drop. You know, if you got a big ass glob of rain dropping out the sky, any little bitty raindrop that dropping its ripple ain't gonna be seen. It's gonna be swallowed up. That's what happened we become back one with the original vibration. So when you plunge into this ethereal sea, your vibration is absorbed by the primordial vibration, just like a raindrop falling into the eye of a hurricane. You become back one with the source. But then when it all is said and done, the rain goes through from liquid to gas back to light again, and it drop again, and it gets swallowed up by the hurricane again. Then it turn back to liquid again, and it keep raining down, getting swallowed up like a number 8. That's what's happening. And you know, each time you solidify, you're in a different circle. It's like a vinyl record. When you lift that needle up off one song and you move it over to the next groove, that's called life and death. You put this body in the ground because this body is what you use for this experience on this rail, and then your light body enters another body made out of the elements of another realm wherever you go beyond this one. Just, you see what I'm saying? So the body is the clothes that the spirit put on and enter these realms. This is what they telling you the astronauts is. So the astronaut put on an astronaut suit to go to different worlds. The spirit put on different bodies to explore different worlds. Once your spirit enter a world, it make contact with the elements of that world, and it houses itself in a body made out of the elements in that world, and it can't leave that world till the body is decomposed and release it. Then it find itself free to go into another world, but once it enter that other world, it's gonna be born through a woman. Once the soul penetrate the barrier on an ethereal plane, the mama belly start forming. So in that same time of the soul traveling, or see, this is the thing. To us, it play out like we're a sperm cell trying to find an egg. But they looking at a sperm cell trying to find an egg is really your soul trying to find another little plane of existence, another little egg world, a shell world to enter. And once your soul finds, let me put this thing back up here so y'all can see what I'm talking about real quick. Once your soul leave Israel, once it crosses that barrier of the barrier that's enclosing this world, your body has fully decomposed. In other words, when you entered this egg, the light body put on the elements and a body was formed around that light. It's housing your soul. So the thing is this, when you leave the body, you got to get these elements back to the earth so the body decomposes. The time it takes your body to fully decompose is the time it takes the soul to journey to the next world. So when your body has fully disappeared, we know your soul has fully made it to that next area. So what I'm saying is, when your soul entered the earth, we saw your body being formed in your mama belly. And when it leaves the earth, we can see the body disappearing, decomposing, and you passing through that next barrier going to the world beyond this one. And when you cross over that wall, this body decomposes. As this body is decomposing, a new body is forming in your next destination simultaneously. And when the process is complete, you wake up in the hospital in a new world. It's passing the baton, so to speak. So, you know, this is what they're trying to hide, y'all. This is our reality. We're time traveling. We traveling in between this same reality, but we're spirits in a heavenly or hellish one. And they show you this in a lot of movies where, hey man, I visited a parallel world where it was this same world, but it was different, you know, shit like that. They telling you the truth. This world exists in an infinite copies. This world has an infinite copies of itself. And it's the same reality, but in slightly different ways, because the universe got to act out the law of probability to maintain its infinitude. Meaning if it's something that probably can happen, the universe gonna make it happen. So if it's a possibility that this reality can exist in any way besides this one, the universe gonna act that probability out. And since there's an infinite amount of probabilities, there's an infinite amount of realities just like this one, you just choosing to be in this one. Well, you came here to get to the next one because you can only move in and out of them based upon your awareness of them. Go ahead, y'all. I'm probably being too long.
I have a question, Brother Essentially, about animals. Like, you know, do you think that animals have souls? You know,
everything has a soul. A rock does. Yep.
Okay. So do you think, oh, you said a rock does too?
Anything, a chip bag got a soul. And guess what? People going to crucify me for that, but when they understand,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And what I mean by that is if something ain't got a soul, it can't decompose. Soul is nothing but light. The word S-O-L is what the Greeks call light. That's why they call it solar flare or solar system. Is the light as the sun, right? So it's plasma fusion. But plasma fusion happens in the blood, y'all. And it happens in the sky. That's why they call it as above, so below. That's what Google found out. That's why they got this symbol. Somebody got some hella background, so I'm gonna stop and let them go because I already went.
I'm sorry. I was asking that for a reason because I was wanting to ask, you know, like, do you think since animals have souls and stuff, like about this, you know, choice of life and everything, you know, us as we're living this life, you know, parallel to this life, we're in the womb of our next life, you know. So that's saying that we also choose, you know, to somebody chose, you know, people choose to be animals, you think, you know, to live that type of lifestyle, knowing, you know, it just gets deep, you know. I'm questioning, you know, everything, you know. I try to think on all levels, man. You know, like if animals have souls and we choose to be, you know, what we're going to be, you know, I feel like, you know, who would want to actually, even if you're going to be a human, if we get to, you know, choose our parents as we talked about, you know, on previous panels and stuff like that, you know, if we choose our parents and stuff like that, then who would want to choose to live on the other side of the earth with nothing to eat, you know? Like a lot of people.
You saying people in Ethiopia and stuff, are they choosing that experience?
No, I didn't say Ethiopia specific.
But you hear what I'm saying? Ethiopians, they the worst. They got the worst conditions on earth, so I want to use them. So a person that may be an Ethiopian, right, and living in the harsh conditions like that, and they hear a person saying, hey, we chose our parents and we chose our experience. You saying a person like that will be like, damn, bro, you telling me like I chose this? You asking me what would my answer be to that person, huh?
Kind of that, but also, you know, the animals too, you know, being at their souls. But you're right.
But one at a time, though. You want me to answer the first one first? What my answer would be to them?
Yes, sir. That's cool.
Yeah, my answer would be, yeah, you chose it. And I know that'll be wrong to say, but I'll be giving them the best to my understanding how I'm deciphering reality. Everybody go through their own problems, and every bad situation or worse environment you can point me to, you can see some success stories. The world we live in today is not built for everybody to win. This ain't the best world it can be, and it ain't meant to be fair. So if you was born here in a fucked up situation, I'm saying you chose to be here because what do we always say? Everything happened for a reason. Don't we say that? So the same people that would disagree with me, they'll still say everything happened for a reason. So if a person born in Ethiopia in a fucked up situation, they shouldn't dwell on a situation. They need to find out the reason that they was born in Ethiopia. Maybe they supposed to be the Messiah and the leader to change that motherfucking situation. Because if I was born in Ethiopia, I'd still be Brother Sanchez trying to motherfucking be a revolutionary and say this is fucked up how we living over here in Ethiopia, how they doing us, and trying to wake my my people up as a revolutionary. So if you born in any fucked up situation, it's because you a warrior put there to battle that damn situation. Yeah, you chose to come here and do a job, and some of us came here in areas that's more fucked up than others because those souls chose high-risk duty stations that we call it in the military. Some people choose to go into combat zones that's low risk. If you born in goddamn the beaches of Tampa Bay, you ain't got much of a risk. If you was born as a little boy in the Middle East now, you see, but everybody put here for wherever they put here for a reason. And we don't supposed to have a bunch of pity for and feeling bad for ourselves. We supposed to look in the mirror, look at our situation and say, why was I born here? When I'm going to come here as an earth to change this shit. You came here, your soul came here. It says something ain't right about that world. It's a lot of killing there. It's a lot of poverty there. And your soul saw that poverty-stricken people. And it said, you know what? I'm going to be born through these Ethiopians and I'm going to change it. But something happened when you was born. You became complacent, docile.
But what, you know what, bro, Sanchez? I love your thinking, bro. You're right. You know, I was asking that because I was thinking about karma and stuff like that. I was going to bring that up. But also think about this, though. Think about in the natural state to where, you know, television and stuff, this is brand new. This is basically brand new stuff to us when we're talking about, you know, time and stuff. Now, we wouldn't know, you know, how people are living, you know, if we were living in our natural states, we wouldn't know how people are living in other lands and stuff like that. We will only know, you know, through if we travel to those lands, you know, and stuff like. So the only way that we see how people are living is through television now. If it wasn't for the technology, we wouldn't know how other people.
Your soul feel the pain of other people without television, bro. When your soul ain't on this earth to see people in Ethiopia struggling, it still can fit. Put it this way, what I'm doing, I'm showing, because a lot of people saying maybe people in Ethiopia got karma. No, those are brave souls. They born in these areas. And you will see that some of the strongest leaders come out of the most fucked up areas. See what happened in a hospital, they inject us with a lot of shit. And as we grow up, they tell us a lot of shit. And our soul forget that it came here to be a Messiah. Our soul forget that it came here to change the system. And it ended up being a damn politician with the system. So what I'm saying, they transform the soul throughout culture, TV, all that, and before you know it, you think you was born to be a football player. And you forgot that your soul came here with a cosmic mission. Now you think you was born to be a damn comedian. Or a janitor.
You're right, because we're all born rebel, you know, with a cause. We come with a cause, rebel with a cause, you know, not to rebel, but we come to rebuild, you know, yeah, rebuilders. You know, that's why we are Masons, that's what they say, because Masons build, you know what I'm talking about, how we doing there, building, you know? Fucking elevate your mind. You're the one in control of your time. All of your time is your time, not their time. Your mind is your mind, not their mind. If you're not controlling their mind, somebody else is. Be aware.
Yeah, this life is an experience for the soul to propel itself to new experiences, new planes of existence. Meaning that your soul come from a lower world that was probably more fucked up than this one. You see what I'm saying? You see?
Yeah, let me say one more thing, please. One more. Look, like this. Check this out. You want to experience, when you come back, you're going to remember the highs and lows of the world. So when you come through, when you come through your bubble, you want to experience all of it. That's how you spread yourself out, because you want to be all high and all low. And the balance in between. Everything between.
So, and that's true. And the thing is you always at the center of your high and low self. So when they say you at the center of your own universe is what they talking. When you die, this world die with you. Everyone is loading this world from the darkness. And see, I'm gonna tell you some real shit. They showed you this in the Matrix. What happened? The biggest thing that they said they can't solve is childbirth. How a sperm enter an egg and become a human, start loading this experience. They tell you they can't figure it out for these reasons, y'all. Every action that happens is a still picture that is flashing, like how in when we was little, right? We would take a notebook and we would draw a little dot, then we'll make it bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you flash the pages real fast, it'll look like a rock being thrown. You can make a bunch of still pictures and move the still pictures to make a reality.
Pixels.
Yeah, and so that's how our reality is made. It's made in still picture frames that's being spun by the ether. And this is the thing, what I'm telling you about time travel. You can re-enter one of those still pictures for, let's say, 1933 and go back into there, and you know, that's what they showing you in the time traveling movies and shit. So the past, present, and future ain't going nowhere. You can go back into the past, forward into the future, because what's creating time is the North Pole, and time recycles itself. This is why they say history repeats. So the thing is,
now, because everything is now. Just like you said, the past, present, and future is never moving. It's all now. Everything operates now. The past was a now. The future is a now. The present is a now. Now, right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. Forever now. In the past, now you started. Maybe you did another show. That was a present then. It was a now, you know? And then it moves. We're in the now. We're going to go into a future now. I'm talking to the now of the future now. All forever now.
Yeah, all time is connected to all of time, all the time. All of that time, distance, space, all of that shit is an illusion. It's like, I've been doing a little study into about like atoms, how they take, like you could take a cell, you can split it. You could take one cell or an aspect of that cell all the way to the other end of the world, bro, all the way to another country somewhere. And if you upload or download any information on the cell that's local to you, it will instantaneously ignite a response inside of the other cell that's on the other side of the world. So it just shows you that, man, in reality, all of that is an illusion, time, distance, and space. So like, I mean, it just, you know, was dropping on what he was saying though. So yeah, I liked that.
Yeah, time ain't nothing but experience. Experience is time you go through something short and feel like it's been forever, and go through a quick experience and make it feel like a lifetime. So time ain't really nothing but experience.
You can go to sleep tonight and you can dream that you was back at the fishing lake with your daddy when you was a boy, and you'll wake up and call your mama and be like, Mom, I dreamt it like it was yesterday, Ma. I mean, we was right there. You was bringing out the cupcakes. Brother had caught a fish. I relived it all over again. See, you can go back in the past. You in a dream, you can say, man.
Hey, Sanchez. Hey, bro, I did 7 years in segregation, my nigga. Do you hear me? And I was in Stateville Correctional Center. We didn't have power in them cells, no nothing, my dude. What I'm trying to tell you is that, dog, some of the shit that I was actually able to do inside of my mind in that dark ass cell, locked inside of that cell 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 7 years, my nigga. Like it, hey, that's what made me literally learn how to play around inside of my mind like that, and learn how to manipulate and play inside of my reality like I do. That experience, 7 years of actually using my brain to entertain myself, actually to not kill myself, Joe.
That's deep, man. That's some deep shit. 7 years locked down, darkness, man. Yo, I know you was living in your mind. You was living in your mind at that time.
Yeah, I gave him 13, bro, but 7 of it was in SID. So I had to learn how to like just stay afloat right there in my brain. Cause you know, when you get in SID, they don't give you shit. They don't give you nothing, bro. You ain't getting on no phone because they give you something that's called C grade. So that means you can't get no phone. You don't get none of that. You see what I'm saying? You back there now. And now I'm in a max. You see what I'm saying? So like, your people don't know you back here in the cell with no power. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't no plumbing and shit back here in these cells. They don't know that, but don't nobody care neither. So like I said, yeah, I learned how to actually manipulate the frequencies of my own mind, bro, by going back into my past, pulling up memories and moments. And I would just sit there and meditate on that shit, bro. And I promise you, I would fall asleep inside of that state or that consciousness. And even when I woke up, bro, I would like still be able to feel the whole expression or the moment of where I just left.
Yeah, buddy, let me tell you something. You ain't lying. Let me tell you, that brother ain't lying. Let me tell you something. What I'm about to tell you now is some shit that I know gonna get me crucified. But guess what? Did you know that it's possible to feed yourself from astral projection? Hey, I'm telling you, this is called, what they call it, there's a word for it, not transcension. You can take stuff from the dream world and bring it back here once you get good at it. And what'll happen is, just say it's a famine, it's a drought, and it ain't no more food here. And you'll see tribes of people still living, and you like, yo, and the government have done this before. They just saw tribes of people still living in areas that they fucked the land up and be like, what are they eating? What are they surviving on? And I'm gonna tell you, one of my beliefs is some of these people operating on such a high level, they know transcendence. Meaning you can go to a dream state and have a feast and wake up full. The nutrients from that will actually be transcended here without the fucking food, because it all just a code to trigger a bodily response. So
you can work out while you can have a wet dream and have sex with a woman and have a ejaculation. Everything operates in the mind. It's just about how good the sensation feels. You feel me? How real it feels. You don't know what's really real.
And see, the crazy thing about
the mind can play tricks on you is what I was trying to say, Sanchez. I wanted to ask you a question because I don't get on the panel, like that. And, y'all talk about stuff. I'm glad we're talking about this. The dream thing, I got something to throw at you. Okay. So you saying that dreams, because you also say that our dreams that we go into when we sleep is also other, versions of us, correct?
Say that again. No, I just
dimensions. Other dimensions.
You said that you said that our dreams, whenever we go into our dreams, when we're dreaming, that's another version of us, like on a another part of the plane.
Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna be crazy for real. Like, it's funny for a reason. Mm-hmm. I heard you say for real when you was young that you used to dream about going to space.
Mm-hmm.
So if you dream about going to space, like, space isn't real. You get what I'm saying? So
hold on. Space is real. Space is a virtual reality, and I went there in my dreams. Here's the thing. My dreams are different versions of me across each plane, just like I said. But when you're not having your dream, it's called a nightmare. That was a nightmare, not one of my dreams. So I didn't contradict myself one time. Mute your mic. Let me say something real quick, because it's a little background. I said that your dreams are the different versions of you across these different planes, and that is true. Your nightmares is not. Your nightmares is a result of when you go to sleep, your soul didn't go and re-up with the different versions of you. Something caught it up into a fucking program system. So you had a nightmare about Freddy Krueger, Jason. You had a nightmare about space and you floating around a planet like I did. Because that's how they steal your dreams and put you into their fucked up little... When we sleep, we supposed to be going to our own little heavens. And what happened is we're not able to reconnect our conscious with them other parts of ourselves, those other versions of ourselves on those other planes, because they intercept that consciousness with nightmares. This is why you don't let your children watch scary movies. You shouldn't be letting your children watch scary movies. Parents out there, do not let your children watch scary movies. Keep them away from space programming, because they won't be able to connect with their higher selves in the dream world. They'll have nightmares that's going to intercept their light when they close their eyes and enter that darkness of sleep. Listen, mute your mic real quick, bro. I'm about to be through. Sleep is slip. Is slipping in and out of these different planes, these different worlds. When they tell you that your spirit can walk through walls, that's what they telling you right now if you're looking at my screen. It's a bunch of different domes within domes, and the one that I'm sharing is this particular one. Hold on a second. So the people... Oh, no, brother. What happens is, listen, what happens is you give me an opportunity to teach about the ether, because it ain't about me and what the fuck I'm saying. What's in the title is the ether. So when you brought that up about me, I took it off of me and back to the ether and how I relate to the title and how we travel through these different ether barriers. I'm feeding the people right now. You had a good point, and I'm glad you brought it up. Listen to me. Nightmares are dreams. They just not your dream. Now listen to me closely. The word dream just means realm. Take the D off. It's realm. Now listen. When you have a nightmare, you don't go to a world. You're not in your own world. I want to have that nightmare of some sick. Hold on a second. I want to have that nightmare if some nigga didn't create no shit called space. I want to dreamt about Candyman. I had a nightmare that Candyman was trying to get me with the hook. I want to have that nightmare if some nigga didn't think about Candyman. So it wasn't my dream. I went to another motherfucker's imagination. That's called a nightmare, man. When you find if you die in your sleep and you trapped inside of that damn nightmare, man, you will be stuck there till you realize you fell asleep and you gotta wake up. This is the tragedy of this shit.
I just had this little death experience, bro. Like, I was out the game for over an hour, bro. Like, when I came back, I was already in the hospital being pushed to the basement. Like, they was already, you know what I'm saying, like tagging me up, like he's done. So like, this is what I mean. Like, I was already gone over an hour. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, listen, bro, before all of that had happened, man, I swear, bro, it was a crazy experience though. But the person that I was in the car with, the female that I was with, I was even able to point it out and show her. Like, the star, bro, it was a star. Like, before everything took place, bro, it was just this star that seemed closer to me and us than any other star, bro. But it seemed like that star was just swimming through the sky as if it was in water. And I was trying to figure out what the hell is it? And when I finally figured out what it was, bro, when I sat there and went into a meditation and shit that night, bro, I figured it out. I even told the girl that I was with, like, man, I'm gonna die in my sleep. And she was like, what you mean? I'm like, man, I think I'm gonna die in my sleep. She was like, well, why would you say that? Now, hey, listen, this is no lie, bro. Like, like, I would get this girl, bro, like, she would tell you the whole groove, though, like, cause it fucked her up. You see what I'm saying? But I told her, I say, man, I don't know. It's like the ancestors telling me that if I leave right now, then I can incarnate into my son. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm with that, though. But I didn't feel like I actually had a choice anyway. It's just like I felt that I was being assured that, like, you know what I'm saying, your energy is going to go into your son. So, you know what I'm saying, like, you straight. You're not finna experience death. But then when I came back too, bro, like, I had went into a place to where it's like I was like more looking at the reality from a spherical view, more like a cosmic or celestial view. But I was starting to notice like all kinds of people, bro, that I had probably like done crazy shit to in reality and just all kind of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, it wasn't until recently that I figured out the aspect to that dream. And it goes in hand with what you was just saying. that when I died, bro, I was inside of a crazy ass state of mind that I had different beliefs and concepts about life and death. So I even experienced a reality or an aspect of death that was based upon my perception or my knowledge or information of the reality anyway. Now, what do I mean by that? That it wasn't until maybe a couple of weeks ago that I was able to actually revisit that experience, bro. And I intently done it. I never consciously thought, gee, revisit your death experience. Like it never clicked to me in my mind, let me try to revisit my death experience just consciously and see what the hell really happened that I missed. So when I actually went into my dream state and I did it, I woke up and told my girl about it. I said, baby, it's crazy. I say, because in reality, now I understand what actuality and reality is. Because actuality is everything that's taking place. But reality is just the things that I realize, the things that actually are picked up by my own senses. And I'm only using that information to create or, fabricate my reality out of it. So if out of all that information, and this is what, like I said, bro, I was able to actually figure it out, because just think, I was experiencing, at that point in time, I was experiencing a death. But that death seemed like a little horrified experience to me. But I was able to go right back to that same experience inside of a dream state, like make myself go there. And just like, I'm going to say that what I was doing was talking to my higher self, bro. I was inside of a state or a space just communicating with myself. And I was actually able to understand the answers inside of myself while I was inside of that space. And it was just showing me, no, you was missing everything. That's because you still believed in death.
Yes, you went inside of yourself. You went way inside of yourself, and you look inside yourself so much, you look outside yourself and you realize all of the world was you. Everything around, the air you breathe, the trees, you felt yourself. You can feel yourself breathe. It feels so good. You hear? I can hear it in your dialect.
Yeah, bro, because it was everything, though. Everything was there. It's just that I missed everything else. It was my realization that was fucked up.
Because you look back to the materialized, the things that you was materially attached to. That's why they trick us upon the material things, to make us keep on going back and not face reality. That's why they give you a days, right? And have you a week long enough so you don't be strong enough while you're awake to chase your dreams. They keep you weak in days. So you'll be weak in your days and not have enough energy within yourself to chase your own dream and live it into your reality. Live your dreams out through reality, actuality.
And this, and I'm gonna say something to this, that in all of those movies where you see the person die, there's a light portal open up above their head, and that's their own crown chakra for them to go inside of their own soul, because this reality is just, see, here's the thing, that electromagnetic body that I was showing y'all that's around the human, let me try to go to it. Matter of fact, just picture it if you can. You know that around every human is a light body. That's what's creating the world outside. What I'm telling you is all of us inside of our own little electromagnetic energy field projecting this reality. Each one of us loaded like a virtual reality game. If everyone put on these goggles and we load up the board, it's the same board. That's how this reality is experienced. I know we've been taught that it's one reality that we all living in. It's one reality that we all load from our own soul. So basically how you can look at it is, the way I look at it is, when the sperm entered the egg was the earth. And the virtual reality, the sperm never left the egg. When it entered the egg, it's like me putting it loading up a computer game. When that disc entered the computer, I can load up that game, that reality. When that sperm entered the egg, it was able to load up the information in the egg, which was this reality. So that egg is still around the head of that sperm. That's why I'm showing the pictures now. When we leave the earth, the sperm snatches itself out of that egg and travel and wiggle on to another egg for another reality. You were never born When the sperm made, okay, go ahead.
No, we can't see the picture. Pardon me.
Well, no, the picture ain't really. Okay, well, I'll share it with y'all so y'all can see it. It ain't really nothing. No, it's just.
Hey, bro, Sanchez, can I throw something in, man?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like the darkness, bro. You know, like with the womb and everything. What if like, and this is just to throw something crazy in there. What if like the egg is like a plasmic type of, you know, torus field, you know, and the sperm, you know, when it's like the energy, you know, I'm just throwing something in there, bro. Just like a hot thought. Just look over it, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was trying to pull that picture up for him, you know, so y'all could see.
Hey, I just see it as like, man, one gigantic, like this thing, this soul force that just divided itself into multi-Googles of entities to experience itself subjectively on a data collection mission. You see what I'm saying? Like inside of a state of amnesia of some sort. So, and you know, that's just like, I guess what we going through. You see what I'm saying? Going through these, like these grids and these like different lifelines. And I heard you saying something in the video yesterday, like, man, something about how these people get to cloning you and shit, right? Out of the plasma. And I'm like, oh no, you know how many times they take your plasma in jail or your blood in jail? Like they hit you everywhere you go. Like every 60 days they want blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, it's and one thing I was gonna say about the whole plasma and the sperm entering a plasmatic egg, which I agree with that. I do think it's a form of plasma because it's a transitional thing. Anything dealing with transitioning energy from one thing to another can't happen without this ethereal matter called plasma. They call it dark matter. See, because this transitioning happened in darkness, like a seed, like a butterfly in a cocoon. They want y'all to think that the sunlight makes the shit grow, but it's the darkness, man. The seed go in the darkness. The sun is just the sun.
Bro, they got black folks strung out on them plasma centers.
Oh yeah, I got a whole documentary on it, man. Go check that shit out. Hell yeah. And see, what I'm talking about now is what I'm gonna be getting into in the second parts of that is how plasma relates to the ether. When you brought up the egg and the plasma, now we're talking. Now we on the subject title because I can talk about how the ether relates to that plasma. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was just doing. Now I was showing you like what y'all was saying earlier, how remember light is plasma. So when you say in the movies when a person die, a light opening and that's that crown chakra opening up to receive you from receive your energy. So you going into your own self. When you enter that, what you're gonna look down, like when your soul enter that white light and it look down at the place where it came from, it's gonna be this earth as an egg, just like you see in the top left corner. But that's what the sperm see when it's going in the mother's egg. See, this is what they call as above, so below. When the sperm entered the egg, the mother stomach is the earth. See, when I talked about time being made out of still pictures, when the sperm entered that egg, that's a still picture. And what I'm saying is a part of you in time never left the egg. It started loading this reality from in it. What I mean is this: the point where you stopped being a sperm and an egg and you became a human, that was a past death in another life, and you were incarnated in this reality. So what I'm saying is you traveling through the ether and the energy being calibrated and re-solidified, but the energy is plasma. So way to look at it is this: when the sperm entered the egg, it wasn't born, it began to load a reality. It didn't come out of a womb, it loaded an experience. The mama's
each pixel is the birth of a new moment.
That's a good way to motherfucking put it. Wow. Wow, that sounds exactly like what I'm trying to say. Like each pixel is a opening to that moment in time, and you can re-enter it. Just say if you go to sleep right now and you dreaming that you 6 years old, but you die in your sleep, did you really die? No, you lived in your sleep. All you did was travel back in time. What is death? People here gonna say, well, yeah, he died in his sleep, because they don't know that you dreaming that you 6 years old. So if you dream that you 6 years old and you die in your sleep, you're gonna keep continuing your life like a 6-year-old and your mom and dad from that point in your dream on forward. It ain't gonna be like you died to you. You ain't gonna experience as a death. All you know is I'm 6 and I'm going back to school. You ain't gonna remember that you fell asleep in the bed and started dreaming you was 6 and you died in your sleep. You're gonna be in the dream. You're gonna be a 6-year-old again in that mind.
Hey, look, that makes sense too, bro. Look, you heard about the Russia 2045 project with the they uploaded the conscience of a monkey into a computer.
Yo, I heard about that, but I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah, they say the monkey is literally inside of the computer, bro. Like it's dead here, but it's not dead consciously. Like it's inside of the computer, it's alive, it's living, eating bananas, running around, playing. It's experiencing the artificial reality as if it was a biological reality anyway.
Hey man, when I get ready to die, I'm gonna go off grid and die alone, peaceful somewhere. Ain't nobody gonna be able to have a funeral for my ass. I don't want them fucking with me, cause that shit, that's scary. They can intercept your consciousness and put the shit in the computer. And look, if they find out how to intercept our consciousness upon death, cause listen now, I'm gonna tell you what make that experiment deep. They got instruments that they using in the hospital when people dying to measure the electric energy that's being emitted from their body at the time of death. They're gonna start enhancing that technology to intercept the motherfucking electric energy, and these bastards always been trying to trap the genie in a bottle. They got a fucking song called Genie in the Bottle. They trying to do that shit to humans, y'all, that they practicing on the monkey. That's what the human skin marketing is all about. This shit is getting scary.
I don't know about y'all, but I've been getting close to the right people, but I see a lot of grave sites, they have a lot of cell phone towers. I see it at a lot of grave sites, you know. So I don't know about y'all.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think they can intercept people energy who's vibrating high and understand what they're doing, even if they got the technology. I think what they're creating is false forms of the portal. Like how we talk about people, they telling you don't go into the moon because it'll recycle you back to Earth. No, don't you go into this fake ass portal they trying to create. See, we don't know what CERN is. People know CERN is something, but we don't know what it is. You want me to tell you why? You ain't gonna know what CERN is until you die. And what do I mean? When we die, we enter the astral world. That's the world that exists within this world. Within that world, you can see all the portals that lead back to the home, to the North Pole. And you can travel the starlight back to the North Pole. They call that, the stars are basically the stairs. Take the eye off and it's the stairs. The stars are the stairway to heaven. The spirit is light. We travel those lights back all the way up the Christmas tree to Polaris, which is the star at the top of the tree. But something can intercept that light along the way and stop you from getting to the top of the tree if you think that, see, Polaris is the brightest light in the sky, but they can mimic that shit. See, when we leave the body, we supposed to be attracted to Polaris like how flies are attracted to a bright light. But if they create a CERN technology, which is an artificial kind of bright light, they can alter souls to go into that instead of the one that the Most High created for us to go to. These bastards trying to do some real devilish shit. You know what I'm saying? And so we don't know what CERN is because it ain't made for living people. It's made for dead people. When you die, you will see that what they opening up at CERN is a huge ass port. We can't see it in the body. They're fucking with people on the astral plane, I believe. This is soul technology. They're trying to create a portal to siphon souls in their little CERN shit and keep us from journeying up the mountain, reconnecting with the ancestors the original way, you know.
Yes, that's what they're trying to do, and they do it to the minds that's still with the program. Long as you're part of the program, you're giving yourself up to the slavery willingly. It's the ones who open up their mind that they worry about, because they're able to get free and break away from the chains, and they have control of their own brain and mind and their own world, so they be able to create a world of themselves and be the rulers of their existence, you know. But once you really walk that talk, you got to talk the talk and walk it, you know. And then so they create a program so they can get all energy, like a world that they already know the program, so they understand the program because they already created the program, so they can keep coming back to that world and got energy into it. Long as everybody got energy into it, guess what? They're gonna keep going back with the memory of their mind that they was meant to be workers and slaves, not rulers, because they're gonna continue to think that they're slaves. That's why they go back in time. Oh, and back in time we were slaves, and this time, we were slaves, or we're slaves now, because now it's forever. We always were slaves until we wake up our brain and stop working for the money thing, because it's not the money that we're looking for that's the green that rules us. It's the green of the trees. That's why they cut the trees down and make the money to rule over us.
Hey, man, and guess what? I'm going to end it on that note because that's powerful. Shout out to the brother, the roster version of Huey. I got to get up out of here, y'all, but I'm going to continue this, man. Real talk, and I'm going to stay on this type energy. I ain't being distracted. Real talk, man. So, but I appreciate all of y'all brothers, man. This was powerful.
Already, man. Shit. Just holler at us whenever you get time.
Oh, I definitely will, man. I definitely will. And, y'all brothers be safe out there to the people.
Cause I got some shit I want to talk about, man. I just didn't say nothing, you know. I just let everybody else talk. So
yeah, I was gonna go a little bit longer, but I got
Nah, bro. When you get next time, I got you next time.
No doubt, cause I'm gonna keep doing it this way. Open panels, you know what I'm saying? Throwing a link out so we can have our think tanks, man. Right. So I appreciate y'all brothers for, you know what I'm saying, being on this time with me, you know what I'm saying, because I know it's a lot of distractions out there. So this is what feeds me. I know a lot of people is like, damn, bro, this is a breath of fresh air. Thank you. Keep the energy like this. Cool. This is where I want to be. But at some time I'll leave this to go back and get the sleeping people that's distracted. So we're going to continue this, man, because what I'm going to go live about is Google's parent company, man. They got a company called Calico, and I'm going to let y'all see what they doing over there, man, why they got this symbol too. But man, I'm going to get with y'all tomorrow because I should be live tomorrow. Y'all be safe, brothers.
All right, much love. Flat power, bro. Flat power. Much love. Big
appreciate that, man. Much love to y'all too, man. A shout out to everybody in the chat room. Much love to y'all. And stay tuned, man. We cracking the cosmic code over here. If those with eyes that can see what's going on my platforms. But those who can't see it, you know, I'm probably gonna become their worst enemy. They think I'm a lunatic. But for those who can see what I'm teaching with this sacred geometry, this etymology, this syncretism, good for you, good for us. You know, it's a lot of crucifixion come with knowing this shit now. With knowing this stuff, a lot of people gonna come try to attack you, you know, change the energy in your platform, discredit you, come around you to distract. All kind of stuff gonna happen, but I'm gonna keep pushing with this shit, man. Everybody that support me, I really fucks with y'all. Appreciate you. Teardrop Hall, appreciate the love. Shout out to Teardrop Hall, man. Shout out to my new Patreons. Like I said, man, I appreciate y'all. Pledge. And I appreciate all of y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Peace and much love.